Yo. We are Charlie Kirk. First stream, welcome. Got some spooky stories for us tonight. From truckers. Fa la 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 la. Veilith, what's up, bro? Hello. Am I not doing a Christmas Eve stream? I'm not. No, we're doing a Christmas Eve. So I can, do family stuff on Christmas Eve. What's up, Zella? How we doing? How goeth it? Why am I not Skidmark Steve anymore? YouTube changed some stuff. It's stupid. You can go in and change it in your YouTube settings, though, if you want to change it back. So is the reader voice my natural voice? Yeah, essentially, I guess. I mean, my baseline talking is like this, right? But then I get close and I'm spooky wooky. Jacob Bowling, welcome back for 46 months as the final boss. Wanted to come and say one thing. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. When I return next year, the King of Kings goes back on his throne. Oh, lordy. I've been a trucker for 15 years. Thank you for keeping me up every night, bro. You're welcome, friend. Thank you for delivering our toys. You're pretty much Santa Claus, but every day of the year. Just a series of Santa Clauses out there. Literally a lifesaver. Was in the middle of mindlessly scrolling looking for something interesting to watch and I got your notification. Good to see ya. We're gonna party hard tonight. I've been wondering what's the weather been like for everyone else here in Kansas. 70 degrees for 2 weeks. That's crazy. I wish, bro. It is freezing here, but also kind of like wet. Am I still doing Twist of History? No, not anymore. It got canceled by liberals. Everybody on Twitter canceled us, and they axed us. They axed it. We had a bridge incident. Just kidding. JK. I was really about to get in the shower before you started sounding to me. Well, I guess you're gonna have to be stinky. Forever stinky. Listen for everyone, never comment on lives. Well, good to see you, Claire. Thank you for being here. Has everybody got any plans for Le Christmas? I also love your stories. I've been listening for the past 2 years. Definitely plan to go back and listen to the older ones I haven't yet. These generally help me focus so I can't explain. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know what it is. People like to sleep. They like to focus. It seems to ride the line on whatever aspect of the brain, might assist with that, which is, hey, if I can help, I'm thankful. I have one useful skill in my life. Ooh. Might be my voice. Did I miss your comments? Yeah, dude, where you been, Ricky? Good to see you. Yeah, if anybody's name changed from YouTube's recent changes, you can change it in your profile settings. If you can find it. Hello. You help me keep me sane when I can't sleep. You're welcome. Yeah, sleep is how you stay with a healthy brain. I sound different? How different do I sound? Do you remember that story about some dude murdered his neighbor and cut her heart out and tried to feed it to his family? That's the one that sticks with me the most that you've read. Was that a true crime? I don't even remember. I'm finally on time. Welcome. Doing a Tuesday. A little bit of a silly Tuesday stream. Azazel, thank you for the 10. Says, Merry Christmas, Joe. I look forward to all the nighttime snuggles Let's Read in 2026. Thank you and cheers to a great new year. Thank you, Azazel. Many more to come. 2026 is going to be our year. This is our year. 2013 was our year too, but this one, every 13 years we get a good year. Thank you for the 10. There's been like a fat smog blanket over Cali for the past couple of weeks. I heard about that, yeah. It's like a pollutant smog of sorts, which is crazy. Do I play video games? Yeah, I do like video games. I played a lot of Arc Raiders recently and stuff. Not a lot, not as much as some people, but play a lot of Hearthstone Battlegrounds. Enough to drive me crazy. Hi Joel, had to double check what day it is. Yeah, we're doing a little bit of an early streamer. Just because the holiday. Merry early Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Joseph's and family. Thank you, Conspiracy Queen. Good to see you. And Crybaby, welcome back for 14 months. Any plans for the holiday? Yes, just meeting up with some family friends tomorrow. And then the day of Christmas, I'll be with my family, as well as going to the grandparents, all that good stuff. And then meeting up with more family friends, and it's going to be a non-stop weekend of exchanging gifts and spreading Santa Claus's glee everywhere. Shooting his glee goo. Hitsubasa, welcome back for 3 years. Merry Christmas. Happy Chrysler. Merry Christmas. Thank you for 3 years, Hitsubasa. That's crazy. Remember to check weather forecast before traveling, guys. Good point. Yeah, we don't want to... Before you hit any jumps with your cars, be sure it's not slick. You'd rather some eggnog? I do have some eggnog, but I think I'm going to save it for tomorrow. That's my eggnog consuming time frame, usually Christmas Eve. Your B-Day is on Monday the 29th. You're turning 25. Happy early birthday. What day is it? Monday. Okay. I'll have a new video up for you. Your birthday vid. Trucker horse stories sound right up my alley. I got you, bro. Figured we'd switch it up. The Christmas video did well, though. I was actually surprised that one did well. Everybody seemed interested in it, I guess. Should we kick this off, though? You guys want to hear some stories? Do we have any mods? I don't think we have any mods in here. I threw them off by starting a day early. 24 hours early for work. Why is it so cold? My friends are enjoying summers in Australia. Well, yeah, the hemisphere is just completely flipped. Because, like, the rotation of the Earth, our part of the Earth is, like, slightly further away from the sun, and their part of the Earth is slightly closer. Based on... I don't know if it's the tilt. I guess the tilt stays the same, but the distance that the Earth and its, like, rotations around the sun are, like, just slightly a little bit further. But yeah, their weather is just complete opposite of, well, not their weather, but yeah, their seasons. Sammy, welcome to the Butterstock Cult. You now have access to bonus content. The Earth is flat. Honestly, if it was flat and we were just like some little plate floating in the middle of nowhere, it wouldn't surprise me, man. I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. Alright, let's get it. Let's get spooky, shall we? Bring it right on down. And Monique, welcome to the Butterstock Cult as well. You now have access to bonus content. Did you know we apparently found a lemon-shaped planet? Thank God, I've been waiting. Let's make some martinis with it. Did anyone else have a B-Day today? It's your birthday, Alicia. Happy birthday. What did you do? The visual plate of Earth. Yeah, It's just like dripping mud underneath it. Your voice is honestly as unique and alluring as Vincent Price. Wow, that's nice. That's a very nice thing to say. 2026 is definitely going to be a year, according to astrology. Have a beautiful Christmas stroll. Catch you later. Thank you. Have I polished my nails? Yeah, I put them in the nail polish machine that I got for my elf on the shelf present. Another year around the sun. Thanks, Jace. Appreciate you, bro. Alright. Don't truckers work 12-hour days? I mean, sometimes, yeah, they just keep driving straight till they get to their destination. Honestly, if I was a trucker, I wonder if you could just invest in your own self-driving rig and just sit there and hang out behind the wheel. The year did go by quick, huh? I don't even remember the start. What did I even do? I have no idea. Truckers are legally limited in how many hours they can be driving. Right, how many is it? Like, we can drive 11 hours max a day. Okay, I guess that makes sense. It gives you an hour to just like get settled down, get some sleep. Well, that's good. Yeah, I guess everybody would be on like crackdown on coke the whole time. Joe, that was a Simpson episode with a self-driving rig. Well, I know that there are self-driving trucks now or whatever. I've heard of them, but I was just thinking, wouldn't it be nice if you could just be the one to just like manage the machine behind it and just chill? That would be sick to do a Oh yeah, do a podcast while driving a truck. That'd be amazing. Thanks, Lauren. Me for president. I don't think I'm ever going to get to be president. I think you have to know a few people. Anyways, guys, we got 4 stories tonight. Thanks for being here. Let's get into it. So back in 1988, when I was just 18, I was slinging boxes at a warehouse for minimum wage. I had no plans for college, no plans to do just about anything, really. Until one day, this good old boy rolls up in this shiny red Kenworth. And he seemed like a character, so we got to talking, and that's how I found out that he made 4 times what I did just for driving a big rig across the country. And I remember looking at my busted up sneakers and thinking, hell, I could do that. And so I took all the money that I'd saved up to buy a car, and I used it to get Oh shoot, that dude with a big $20 donation says, hey dude, Merry Christmas, God bless you all, May 2026 be fantastic. For real, brother, thank you so much. 2026 is going to be great. We're going to make it happen. We're going to be happy. It's going to be so sick. But thank you so much for the 20, seriously. Very kind. So I took all the money I'd saved up to buy a car and I used it to get my CDL instead. Which, for those of you who don't know, is a commercial driver's license which you need to operate trucks, buses, or anything that transports hazardous materials. And about a month later, I was driving over to my first job interview, and I've been trucking ever since, coming up on damn near 40 years now. And like any job, trucking's got its ups and downs. When the freight's rolling, the money's great, and if you run hard and stay mostly legal, you can clear 6 figures a year no problem at all. Dispatch might decide the destination, but once the key's in the ignition, it's just you, the CB, and 36 tons of steel and rubber. I've seen the whole country on somebody else's dime, and as long as the load's on time and you ain't tearing up equipment, there ain't nobody beating down. Oops. My buddy up north from Nova Scotia, but he drives on the ice roads throughout the winter, and he does videos on the road when he gets bored. He just has his dash cam, tells us stories. Interesting. Yeah, ice truckers always sounded pretty treacherous of a job. I wonder how much they get paid. I've seen the whole country on somebody else's dime, and as long as the load's on time and you ain't tearing up equipment, there ain't nobody breathing down your neck. Only trouble is, those damned air ride seats still feel like concrete when you're sitting on them for 10 to 12 hours a day. And then forget about things like Thanksgiving because you're eating your turkey and yams out of a Tupperware container on the side of the I-80. But if you ask me, the worst part of the job isn't the fuel prices, the insurance, or the shippers and receivers that treat you like something stuck to the bottom of the shoe. It's not even the lumpy bunks, the truck stop slop, or the showers that look like a damn crime scene. Those you can get used to. The worst thing about the job is ironically the very same thing that sometimes is the best thing about the job, and that's the people you meet while out on the road. 6 years into my career, I was hammered down and eastbound on the I-80 somewhere just west of Lincoln, Nebraska. Now, it was around 2 in the morning and it was just me and my engine doing about 68 while she sang that old Detroit song of hers. My CB was quieter than a church mouse, and the only thing breaking the silence was the wind whistling over my cab. And then suddenly, out of the dark, I caught a glimpse of something pale moving on the shoulder. I slowed the rig a little and flipped my high beam down, and then there she was. A girl of no more than about 19 or 20 years old wearing a thin white sundress. Her hair's all wild and she ain't got nothing but sandals on by the looks of things, and she's sticking her thumb out, trying her damnedest to get me to notice her. Now, I've heard every scary story from here to Reno about picking up hitchhikers. The ones about scamming lot lizards, the ones about nutcases or robbers, even the old vanishing girl spooky story that every trucker must have heard 100 times by now. Usually, I've had just a... I love lot lizards. Can't go wrong. They're always bathing out in the hot sun. Why not? Great, it's a stream night, let's go. Oh yeah, what's up, Pats? I would listen, Joel, but if you were a trucker to make 12-hour drive go by faster. You never know, Pats. Maybe instead of medical school we could look into the realm of trucking. Don't they have Euro truckers? You could see all of Europe. You ever eat salami and think to yourself, this could be human? Maybe not salami, but definitely McDonald's. I'm fairly certain that McDonald's is like primarily human meat. There's just a certain sickly twang to it, you know? It tastes awfully familiar, and it makes you go a little crazy. McSoylent, yeah. What's up, Justin? Welcome to the Tuesday stream. Spent a lot of time and hard work on my uni years. Yeah, no worries. Just in case. Sometimes med school makes people go a little cuckoo. Usually I'd have just kept on driving. Ain't my circus, ain't my monkey, as they say. But like I said, something about the way she looked had me easing that 389 Peterbilt over onto the shoulder. And I set the parking brakes, hopped out of my cab, and then started walking back slow so I didn't spook her. And when I was close enough, I called out to her, asking if she wanted to ride. And she just nodded, and then came bounding down the shoulder toward me. Now up close, the backpack that she was wearing made her look even younger. I noticed the mascara streaks down her cheeks and the little bruises on her arms like somebody grabbed her a little too hard. And when she got close, she thanked me with a very shaky voice and then walked around the passenger side and helped herself into the cab. Now, after I got us rolling again, the girl stayed silent in the passenger seat for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. I told her that whatever ran her on... I told her that whatever ran her out there in the middle of the night, God damn it, was none of my business. He's on the radio. What's it say? Shuba Nakadi. Alex McDonald, love your podcast. Nice. Thank you. Wart. How can you submit stories? You can submit a story at my email, letsreadsubmissions@gmail.com. You can find that linked in every video description too if you forget it. Yeah, it's true. I did used to go live on Tuesdays. Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. A submissive email? Merry Christmas, Snappy. Newer listener hitting random videos and came across a stalker vid from a few years back. You had personal accounts from a stalker, and obviously you're okay, but I hope you're still safe. Thank you. Yeah, people are crazy. It's whatever. Haven't heard anything since, so fuck them. Fucking fuck them, dude. I told her that whatever ran her out there in the middle of the night was none of my business. But whatever it was, she didn't have to worry about it in the cab of my truck. She told me her name was Riley and thanked me for giving her a ride. I told her it was no problem, that I'd like to think someone would do the same if that was my daughter out there at the side of the highway. When she told me I sounded like a good dad, but that she never got to know hers, I just apologized. I didn't ask any questions, I just said the world can be a cruel place for good folks, and I was sorry her old man wasn't around for her to know. Now, I didn't know what kind of reaction I was expecting, but I sure as heck didn't expect the girl to laugh. But that's what she did. She suddenly let out this loud burst of hyena's laughter at what was supposed to be a heartfelt consolation. She'd been so quiet that the sudden outburst kind of shocked me a little, and then I stayed shocked when she told me her father was just a sperm donor, her words, not mine, and that he'd done her a favor staying out of her life. Now, I'm no shrinking violet, so I'll admit to letting out a bit of a laugh of my own upon hearing that donor line of hers. I figured that in a get tough or die sort of world, this young lady had simply gotten tough. But there was more to it than that, much more to it. I tried to change the subject away from family. The world is cruel, but that doesn't mean you have to be. True. He probably said loser under his breath because he didn't know her papa. Yeah. Fucking loser. Truly appreciate the real reads. Very few channels these days are real people, although I did think he was AI because his voice is amazing. I know, right? I'm like, and it's funny, I mean, that was kind of tentatively supposed to be my avatar when I started out, like a man taking off his robotic face like Westworld. But I'm glad I didn't go with that, because that might have gotten... honestly, I never would have really put... you call it bot, so like a lot of people say it's like a bot voice. But once the, vernacular of like AI appeared, it's crazy how fast it moved, Hey chat, did Baby No Funds really quit music? Baby No Money. The BB No Money guy. I don't think so. I think he was just trolling or something. I'm a tow truck driver. We have so many stories too. I should send one at some point. Yeah, send it in, friend. Let's read submissions@gmail.com for show. It rained here too. Haven't had a rainy day in a while, especially around Christmas. Yeah, it's kind of sad. It times it up around Christmas, so it like clears out the snow. Yeah, the AI channels do sound really bad. I haven't gotten as many as I did when it first popped off. It doesn't seem that YouTube is promoting them as much, but I could be completely wrong. Hey, thank you, Lauren. Good to see you. AI doesn't have that soul feel to it. I mean, it's true. I mean, if you look back at like the HAL 9000 days with 2001 Space Odyssey, I mean, like, the thing is like, AI, it's not that it dislikes you, right? It's just that it has no capability. It's just a learning language model. It's simply like a series of algorithms attempting to like predict the next word. And it's mainly you're the one actually doing the hard part. And that's the interpreting of said numbers to give it meaning. It doesn't even know what the meaning of anything it actually is. It's simply just correlating words to numbers and then correlating it back to words to your mind. And something like HAL 9000 or any of those AIs, and it just, it has intelligence, but it doesn't have wisdom, as they say. AI loves me, yeah. My AI Jesus. I hate it when a video title sounds interesting, you click on it, you find out it's just AI. AI narration is so boring to listen to. I totally agree, yeah. Like, there was one that I wanted to watch and was about, what's it called? Like The Matrix. It was like why Neo was actually the enemy, or something like that in The Matrix, or why Agent Smith was right. And you click on it and you're just like, oh, this fucking sucks. Fucking hate AI bullshit. Lynn, thank you for the 2, says Merry Chrysler Buttersockus, Bootylicious Buttersocks. Thank you, Lynn. Good to see you. What are you doing for Christmas? I know, yeah, the AI is just like empty rambling. Joey, since you grew up with snow in December, can you imagine it being Christmas vibe if you spent Christmas in Cali or Florida? I think I would deal with it, honestly, if it meant nice weather and sunshine. I always wanted to... I remember watching that, like, Pearl Harbor movie, whenever, the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, and it was December, well, it was Christmas Day, right? It was Pearl Harbor, and then... Or was it? No, it wasn't Christmas Day, that was... Pearl Harbor was what, December 6th? Sorry, December 7th, 1941. And I just remember, they had like Christmas stuff up, but it was like beautiful weather. Oahu, Hawaii, that's crazy. I guess I did visit the Pearl Harbor Museum in Oahu when I went there back in like 2014. Dreaming of a white Christmas. I tried to change the subject away from family and ended up asking her where she was headed and if she was in school. She gave some cagey answer to both and then decided to ask some questions of her own. Now, I was open and honest with her, told her where I was headed and that I was hauling. I tried to change the subject away from family and ended up asking her where she was headed and if she was in school. Well, she gave some... Dude, I don't know what the fuck. Like, once I start to lose my train of thought for this, it just like starts to go so fast. It's crazy. I find it hard to tell the difference because of flat, soothing voices, both with the soothing voices like an AI. Long story time. Yeah. She gave cagey answers to both and then decided to ask some questions of her own. Now, I was open and honest with her, told her where I was headed and what I was hauling. She asked what it was like being a trucker, if I slept in my truck, and if I ever got spooked staying up overnight in some shady truck stop. But then, Riley asked if I was married. It wasn't suggestive at all, just curiosity. But once again, I told her the truth, and she said, it wasn't suggestive at all, just curiosity. But once again, I told her the truth and said that I'd been divorced for coming up on 5 years by that point. I put it down to how young she was, having not learned all her social graces yet. But she did not avoid this Fuck, man. My brain's already farting. But she did not avoid the topic. Instead, she asked, "Did you love her?" And I nodded but stayed quiet, a hint that it wasn't exactly my favorite topic for small talk, and that's when Riley asked, "Did you hit her?" Now, put it down to some fatherly instinct, but my reaction as that little doozy of a question was way different than if a grown man had asked me that question. I didn't yell, I just simply told her no, and then figured the reason that she asked was because she'd seen her own father do the same thing. Riley replied that I didn't look like the type, and then there was a brief silence before she asked if I had any kids. I said yes, that I'd still considered myself a father, but the daughter that I shared with my ex-wife passed on about 10 years before when she was just 18. Now, I figured Riley wouldn't exactly treat the subject delicately, but I also figured maybe that was just her way. And so when she asked me, "Did you touch her?" I almost slammed on the brakes. I said I wasn't sure where she'd come from or what her story was, and neither was it any of my business, but I also advised her that questions like that, especially when asked of perfect strangers, would only invite trouble on herself. And her face turned very sad, and then she stayed quiet for a minute, almost like a scolded little girl. And I felt really uneasy, but more at the question of what in the Sam hell happened to this girl that made her so comfortable asking questions like that. Now, I stayed quiet myself, letting that question bounce around my brain as the answers got scarier and scarier. And then finally, Riley spoke again. She turned her head and with this sort of sly look on her face said, "Come on, you never once found yourself looking at her? Felt your eyes wander?" Now, I wouldn't say I exploded, and again, it was pure paternal instinct which kept from... Jesus Christ. Why does it sound like... The story sounds like so oddly familiar for some reason. I mean, it's disgusting, yes, but it sounds oddly familiar. Joel is AI, you've been duped. Joel, just optimize electronic life form. Wake up, people. He's the most advanced system in the world right now. I might be, honestly. I just have no idea. They make a really advanced AI biometric thing, and it just sucks the same as normal humans. Do you get repeat stories a lot? I don't think so. Sometimes there is, like someone will hear one from the Reddit compilations. Joel, don't you remember last Christmas that lot lizard you picked up asked you this? Oh, that's what it was. This is my story. How many stories total? We got 4 total tonight. What's up, Cyber Vision? I wouldn't say I exploded, and again, it was pure paternal instinct which kept me from kicking her out of my cab. But from there on out, it was no more Mr. Nice Trucker. I asked what in God's name was wrong with her, and told her that wasn't any kind... I asked her what in God's name was wrong with her, and told her that wasn't my kind of humor, and said if she made any more jokes like that, she'd be back on the side of the highway sticking her thumb out again. She didn't pull the scolded little girl act again. Instead, she let out another one of those hyena laughs before sighing like it was the funniest thing in the world. She told me to lighten up, that she was just kidding, and she was sadly wrong to think a road-hard trucker like me could take a goddamn joke. I told her I could take them just fine, but there was some things you just didn't joke about, and she'd do well to learn that before she pissed off the wrong trucker. Now, I thought that might at least... God damn it. Did you ever put jalapeno drops in your eyes? I might try it this Christmas, honestly. You love me, Cyber? Love you too. Do you think most people make them up? I don't know, honestly. I mean, I guess it's certainly possible, but some of them seem pretty legit, it would appear. I'm so glad I caught that. I've been listening for years, so I'm glad to know you're real and not AI. Hell yeah. Realist of the real. What did I do with the lot lizard? I took her to a job fair. She got a real job. Working at McDonald's now. She hates me. Did you ever read 2-sentence scary stories? Yeah, one of my most viewed video on the channel is the 2-sentence horror stories animation videos. Over 5 million views now, which is crazy. I told her I could take them just fine, but there were some things you just didn't joke about, and she'd do well to learn that before she pissed me off. Now, I thought that might at least silence her for a while, but instead, Riley started asking me stuff like, "Oh yeah? What's wrong, trucker? Gonna do me, huh?" And then putting on this little girl voice to ask the same question. What's a big old twunker gonna do to a little girl like me? Now I finally yelled at her to shut up. If it wasn't so cold outside, I'd have kicked her out of there while we were driving. But it only took a minute of silence before she said, I meant what I said. You don't look like the type to hit a woman. Now I guess that lowered my blood pressure a little because I didn't feel like slamming my foot on the brake anymore. But then she hit me with, But you do look like the type to F your daughter, pervert. Well, I just about blew a goddamned gasket. I didn't actually slam on the brakes. You can't do that in a big rig without risking some serious damage to your coupler. But I did slow us down and bring us over to the shoulder, and then, once we were there, I started yelling at Riley to get the hell out of my truck. I had a snub-nosed .38 in my glove box, but this girl was tiny, so the idea of reaching for it never even entered my head. But it should have. Because just as I unbuckled my belt and opened my door, saying that I was going to drag her the hell out of the cab if she didn't climb out herself, Riley pulled a gun on me. She pulled it out of her backpack when I opened up my door and put a foot on the step. Now 1 second she was empty-handed, and the next, there it was. It looked small, maybe a .22 caliber or something, but she had the drop on me, so it didn't matter how small it was. Didn't matter how small it was. Celebrity Sailboat Smackdown with a 10. Salagadoola Menchika Bula Bibidi Bibidi Bobidi Boo. This super chat sends happy thoughts to all of you. Oh, that was from Cinderella. Sagadoola Menchika Bula Bibidi Bobbidi Boo. The super chat sends happy thoughts to all of you. Cinderella's fairy godmother, she totally said that, and it's super cool. Happy holidays, y'all. Thank you, Celebrity Sailboat Smackdown. God bless you. Sounds exactly the story of the Uber driver who had a gun pulled on him from the girl, too. Did she say, like, weird, perverted stuff to him? Or, like, accuse him of stuff? It's hard for me to listen to the other scary story channels I've listened to Joel narrate for so long. It just doesn't seem the same. It really isn't. I will spoil your taste to all of them. Your furniture is floating. Holy shit. It looked small, like a .22 or something, but she had the drop on me, so it didn't matter how small it was. The lack of recoil on that thing meant that she could pull the trigger as often as she wanted, and the lack of recoil on it meant that it'd be a goddamn miracle if any bullet missed me. She told me to sit my ass back down in the seat and close the door. And I just briefly considered lunging for my glove compartment and hoping for the best, but I also realized that one shot to the head and it was probably game over. Now this wasn't checkers anymore. It wasn't a case of just getting that bitch out of my cab. We were playing chess now, and I had no choice but to play a long game. After climbing back into my seat, we got back on the road again. Only this time I was driving much slower because if anything happened and we went off the road, I didn't want to be driving so fast that the cab burst into flames. When I asked how far she was going, Riley, which most likely was not her real name, told me to shut up and keep driving. And this was just my anger talking, and I know that I've been better off keeping my damn mouth shut, but something slipped out anyways when I asked her, "Do you even know how to use that thing?" She told me of course she did, that her daddy taught her to shoot so she could keep herself safe from perverts like me. Again, this was her choice of words, not mine. And believe me, she wasn't saying it because of some scar that she'd had deep down. She was saying it to taunt me, nothing more, and I could hear it in her voice. When it came to knowing how to use that pistol, Riley said that I could ask the man who tried taking her to his hotel. Bibbidi bobbidi boo. Joel is the goat. Bah. Think the gun range will be open tomorrow. I'm up for that. Is it like an indoor gun range? I mean, I guess you could go to an outdoor gun range or just create your own gun range in a safe area. Mr. Nightmare's my main competition. Well, Mr. Nightmare is destroying Let's Read. His viewership is crazy. You would think eventually, because I think he gets like 15 million views a month, right? You would think there would be some degree of like trickle down from that viewership here. But I don't know. I guess people are just kind of prefer the 15-minute, 20-minute episodes. I have no idea, honestly. The YouTube algorithm makes genuinely no sense. The DIY gun range. I know. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, I'm sure there's some people you guys watch where you're like, honestly, just prefer listening to a shorter version. Do I still love you? Of course. Always. He was my favorite first creepypasta channel, but I keep coming back to this one and Reddit Aliens. Reddit Aliens? I don't think I've heard of them. What's good, Luzio? How we doing? Bibbidi bobbidi boo. I remember he would post one vid per month. Yeah, he definitely seems like he's increased it to at least once a week now, which is good. I mean, it made a huge difference. Like, he's still getting crazy views on his stuff, and it's popping off, which is what he should be doing, you know. Trying to get as much content as possible, you know. The other channels are what I watch when I'm all caught up on your videos. Well, thank you. You can just listen to the reruns. I just found out the biggest pronunciation channel on YouTube is a Frenchman who makes pronunciations and gets away with it, and he makes about $1 million a month and has 56K plus. $1 million a month? What's his name? I feel like I've probably looked him up. I definitely have seen that channel before. That's actually crazy. Hello everyone. He just makes up the pronunciations. Let's see. French pronunciation. What's his channel? Do we know what it is? This pronunciation is all language, but they're usually wrong, which is hilarious because if you can go to Forvo, I've told you about Forvo before, forvo.com. They have like localized pronunciation of like words, literally specific to anything. And even if you can't find a word, you can put it in its native language, usually in the native writing, and then they'll have someone that pronounces it there, and it just like makes life so easy. Let's Read is definitely my go-to. I've noticed I can't listen at work because I've been so used to listening before bed. I get drowsy. You've rewired my brain melatonin. That's good though. I mean, honestly, whatever you use my channel for, I would suggest to continue to use it as such. Otherwise, you'll be passing out operating heavy machinery. How to pronounce Hughes Saint Laurent. Saint Laurent. Okay, I'm going to look that up. I just want to look up his channel and see how many views he gets. Julian Miguel. I've seen this man. 2 million subscribers. This is him. Do you guys remember this?
You are looking at Julian's pronunciation guide, where we look at how to pronounce better some of the most...
Dude, how are you going to have a fucking intro? How are you going to this guy's videos I used to watch because I didn't have, the pronunciation. Not all of his videos, but they're just here and there during the, process of reading. And I swear to God, he's got a fucking intro for his pronunciation. Like, it's a 2-minute video. Like, just get to the fucking point.
Mispronounced words in the world, like this other curious word, but how do you say what you're looking for today?
No one cares, man. Just tell us. All right, I'm sorry. But that being said, we're gonna see how many views a month he gets. General curiosity, because you might have to watch like an ad before. Who knows? Maybe that's the... Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. That's insanity, bro. The views for the last 30 days is 23 million. 23 million views. That's beautiful. I love that. I am curious to what extent, like what level of monetization, on certain things, but I mean, 23 million views will probably rack up. That's okay. He can do whatever he wants, honestly. No one's stopping you from looking up Cinderella Fairy Godmother's song for viewership and reasons. Hebbity boobity bubbity boobity habbity dibbity da. We all recall. Do you still listen to French Whisperer? I don't listen to French Whisperer anymore, sadly. I have like a specific like sleep music. I just type sleep music into YouTube and put that on. I've also been listening to like a ufology channel. But honestly, I watch like Hearthstone videos, like Hearthstone Battlegrounds. And then for some reason my eyes just start to get heavy while watching it, and then I put on the sleep music and just pass out. Usually on my left side. You're gonna need to know this stuff. You need UFO videos? Well, actually, yeah, the guy that does the ufology stuff, we're doing a collaboration of sorts. So, stick around. When it came to knowing how to use that pistol, Riley said that I could ask the man who tried taking her to his hotel room back in Denver, who also believed she wasn't capable of using it. But the girl was also quick to add that I'd have a pretty tough time talking to him since he'd left her. But the girl was also quick to add that I'd have a pretty tough time talking to him since she left him lying on the floor of that hotel room, dead as a doornail. And I noticed that she said that about her father, and since I couldn't resist, I called her out on it. I reminded her how she told me that she didn't know her father, and in response, she gave me another one of those hyena laughs. She told me I was a dumb mother effer for believing such a sob story, and that I shouldn't be so gullible in the future. I remember how she smiled when she asked if I believed her about killing a man back in Denver. I told her I'd be a fool to believe anything that came out of her mouth by that point, and once again she laughed. She said that she figured I might have something to say like that, and so she brought something along from motherfucker. Hey, Suffiso Salali, welcome back for 6 months. You now have access to bonus content, or still have access rather, thank you. The holiday has been really hard for me. I lost my BFF 30 years in October suddenly. Joel, you cheer me up in the live chats. Thank you. You're welcome. Sorry to hear about that though, but we're here for you. Are you going to read any more Sam writing vids for the members? Yeah, definitely. At some point, we're actually working on some bonus content in like a collaborative effort of sorts, trying to get me to do some writing. I just need to sit my ass down and do it. Also, Merry Early Xmas, Joel. Since you won't be doing your usual stream tomorrow, I hope you have a great one, or whatever you do. Thank you for always being you and continuing your channel. Always enjoy. Thank you, Tiff. Appreciate you. Can we talk about feces? All right, let's get into it. Let's analyze. Ashley Brown, welcome back for 16 months. Merry Christmas, Joel and the Buttersock Cult. Love the channel. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for sticking around. Appreciate you. Do you play in your videos on your off days? Yeah. Usually I have a team of editors to help with that. Babidi boobidi boobidi beebidi babidi beebidi ba. She said she figured I might say something like that, so she brought something along with her from Denver to prove she wasn't lying. She asked if I wanted to see, and with both hands on the wheel, I told her I didn't think I had much choice in the matter. The girl laughed, and then reached into her backpack again and pulled out a Tupperware container filled with what, at first, appeared to be mud. And when she cracked the lid and the smell hit my nose, I knew it wasn't mud. It was some type of congealed blood, and whatever was floating in it was starting to turn. At first, when the girl told me to look at what was inside, I ignored her and kept my eyes on the road. But this only made her angry. She pointed the gun at arm's length, dramatically like, so I could see it clearly, and then she said that she didn't give a good goddamn if it made us... How do you confuse blood and mud? I think because it's like probably dark inside of a cab, and like sometimes blood is just like such a dark red that without light flashing on it, it'd be hard to fucking tell what the fuck you're looking at. And then she said that she didn't give a good goddamn if it made us crash, because she'd scramble my brains if I didn't do as I was told. And look. Now I can't express how certain I was when she said that she was serious. I mean, this girl sounded unhinged, truly unhinged, like her sanity was holding on by just a few thin threads. I've had a gun pointed at me maybe a half dozen times in my life, but I only twice truly believed that the person would pull the trigger. Now once I was being robbed by a meth head that I described as barely human, and the other time was in the cab of my truck with that girl who wasn't named Riley. And so, since I believed her wholeheartedly that she was crazy enough to risk her own life by shooting the driver of the big rig that she was sitting in, I looked at was... God damn it. Blood turns brown when congealed. Okay, then that makes some sense. Dog surgery? That stuff particular specific smells like dog surgery. God, I actually am curious now. I remember seeing that meme. Makes me wonder what dog surgery truly looks like. Bibbidi bobbidi ba. And so, since I believed wholeheartedly that she was crazy enough to risk her own life by shooting the driver of the big rig she was sitting in, I looked at what was in that container. And when I did, I almost puked. Floating in what looked like dark red jelly were two meatball-sized oval-shaped organs made of a much paler flesh. I knew what they were from the second I looked at them, and as I stared at them for that brief moment, the smell of them turning. Alright, someone's balls. Someone's testicles, perfect. I knew what they were from the first second I looked at them, and as I stared at them for that brief moment, the smell of them turning hit my nose, and I almost lost my stomach there. I turned my eyes back to the road and kept one hand on the wheel, but I had to cover my mouth and nose with the other as I gagged to keep myself from throwing up. The girl thought that was the funniest thing she'd seen so far, and she cackled like a witch as I coughed and retched. She told me not to worry, because she cut them off of the guy in Denver after he was dead, and not before, so I wouldn't have to worry too much when it happened to me, too. And that was the most terrified I'd ever been in my life, without a shadow of a doubt, and I'm not ashamed to admit it either. I knew that their girl had lied to me once before, and just for kicks, but the evidence of what I'd done was... What I'd done, or what she'd done? She takes a bite, yeah, she's gonna eat the testicles like liver of king. Did I decorate my Xmas tree? I didn't put up really any Christmas decorations. I feel like I will next year. I'm gonna get like I don't really want the LED lights. I want the ones that look like kind of a softer hue, like something from like a 1970s nostalgia. She's a real sick pup. Wait, Krampus gets mad when you don't put up lights? I figured Krampus would not want any jolly glee. They get hot and burn your house down? What? So be careful. Well, I would hope the new ones that they make are just more of a similar vibe and not necessarily like... We made these specifically to represent the time in which everything could kill you. Simone Archibald, thank you for the 5. Do I like Always Sunny? Yeah, it's a great show. I haven't watched it in forever, but yeah, many quotable lines. Heh, stupid bitch. I decorated my tree during the live stream, and I had to put my small tree in a fish tank to keep the cats from furking it up. That's funny. Cats just destroy everything. Dr. Mantis Toboggan. I didn't go to the island, but I went there for the snorkeling. Instead of messing with kids by dressing up as the Grinch, they need to start dressing up as Krampus. This is your second stream. Welcome back, Ian. Welcome back. I knew that the girl had lied to me once before, and just for kicks, but the evidence of what she'd done was right there in front of my face. At least, I thought it was. Because when I asked Riley if those things in the container really were what I thought they were, she started laughing again. She said they were pig testicles, and I was a coward and an idiot for thinking that they were anything else. I knew better than to say anything by that point, and I just kept on driving. And thankfully, we didn't have to go much further before the girl demanded that I pull over at an upcoming truck stop. I did as she asked, watched as she pulled her gun closer to her chest so anyone outside couldn't see it. And then before she got out, she gave me some big speech about how she normally killed a man before leaving, so they wouldn't come after her once she got out. But in her mind, I was the exception. She said that she knew I wouldn't come after her, and that I wouldn't try to hurt her either. She figured I had a gun somewhere in the cab, and she was right, but she also knew that I wasn't using it. Did you see the episode where Frank went to Colombia and immersed himself in the culture by doing mounds of cocaine? No, that sounds amazing though. So many episodes to catch up on, but I probably never will. Sadly. But it definitely had its place in time. Have you seen the Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen? Yeah, but it's been like 2 million years. Do I watch anime? I've seen a lot of anime, but I don't actively watch it currently. She figured I had a gun somewhere in the cab, and she was right. But she also knew that I wouldn't use it on a girl who reminded me of the daughter I'd lost. And no matter how much I hated her, no matter how much I wanted to make her pay for being such a goddamn demon, she knew I wouldn't take her. She knew I wouldn't take away her chance to live, not without feeling like the same thing of evil that had taken my own daughter away. The same thing of evil? How did his daughter die? Have you seen Christmas Carol 1984? Wait, who's in that one? Is that with what's his name? Bill Murray? Because I think that was like one of my mother's favorites back in the day. Your favorite anime is One Piece. Nice. The One Piece is real. I think I watched a couple episodes of One Piece from the get-go. It definitely seems like a tough one to watch 1 million episodes of. Like when people say like I'm almost caught up, I'm like, what are you doing? Is that just all you're doing in your spare time? It's just straight up anime? You're all caught up? Holy shit, that's crazy. I gotta sneeze. 2 Piece is way better, twice as good, that's true. Didn't they make one where it was like an abridged version of One Piece, like no filler piece or one part or something? Fuck. No matter how much I hated her, no matter how much I wanted to make her pay for being such a goddamn demon, she knew I wouldn't take away her chance to live, not without feeling like the same kind of evil that had taken my own daughter away. And the worst thing, she was right. Even after she climbed out of the cab and went walking off to find her next plaything, I couldn't bring myself to do anything but drive off, praying that she'd find her way and make a decent life for herself after, whatever it was that she'd endured. I only came out from under that spell once I was about 30 miles down the highway, and I decided the only thing to do was report her to the cops. I ended up stopping at a diner and calling in the whole thing to the local sheriff's department, And they gave me a reference number that I could use when calling them back in the future, but after calling maybe half a dozen times, I heard that there was never any progress and they didn't find the girl. I still hope she found a way. Don't you love like these characters who somehow like wish well on the people that are like insane? It's always weird to me. I hope you do better. Give me yelling dudes on DBZ any day. Yeah, I mean, I've watched so much Dragon Ball Z. That's why whenever I went and saw the Dragon Ball Z superhero movie in theaters, it was so nostalgic and probably one of my favorite movies of that year. Joel is a villain. I think I would make a very good anime villain. I still hope she found a way to get better. I don't believe anyone is born evil, but a part of me thinks that girl pushed her luck a little too far one day, and that she might... What the fuck am I... But a part of me thinks that if that girl pushed her luck a little too far one day, that she might not even be around anymore, let alone getting better. How much online shopping did I do? I do a lot, just in general. You kinda Let's Read Live. What's up, Woozy? Woozy, baby. Do you like Naruto and Death Note more? I watched all of Death Note, you know, and that was one of my favorites. But I watched that when I was like 21 because it was on Hulu and it was free. I would get off of my bar shift and watch an episode of Death Note before bed. And, it was great. I love Death Note. And I really haven't watched much of Naruto. I don't even know if you can really compare them at all, honestly. They're very, very different. Have you ever seen The Summer Hikaru Died? I have not, no. Uranium Christmas Lights. Dragon Ball was the first anime I watched, especially with my three brothers when I used to be the only girl in my family. Still a dope anime. Also saw that lady voices Goku gets paid for life. Oh, that's amazing, yeah. That is crazy. She voices Goku. Do I have Crunchyroll? I don't know. I feel like isn't that with HBO Max or something? I want to watch some Studio Ghibli No-Dai if I'm spelling that right movies. Which ones do I start with? Probably Spirited Away would be like one of the better ones. My Neighbor Totoro. And then I still have to see, what's that one with the bugs? Like Valley of the Dead Bug or something like that. What's that one called? Yeah, what are all the Studio Ghibli movies? Let's see. Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, yeah, Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service, Ponyo. I remember trying to watch Ponyo and I got really bored. I did see The Boy and the Heron in theaters like the past couple years, and it was fine, like animation-wise, but I felt like the story was kind of like rushed and felt like it would have done a lot better if it was more like episodic, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot of like, the way that it's written, just Spirited Away and various other things, it almost makes me feel like the stories would do a lot better if they were like 4 hours long, you know, as opposed to like an hour and a half or an hour and 15 or some shit. Honestly, they have so much great movies, especially the early ones they made before they started getting popular. Yeah, I don't know. The Boy and the Heron was a little bit depressing, or like disappointing. Do I like Cowboy Bebop? Yeah, I like Cowboy Bebop back in the day.
Yo, it's Spike. What's up, guys? It's Spike. Nice. I'm gonna punch you a little bit. Yeah, I like a girl who can kill me.
Dragon Ball was Toriyama's version of Journey to the West for the first 2 volumes until it became his own thing starting with volume 3. Oh, okay. Sad he passed away, honestly. Honeymoon Newsy with welcome back for 15 months says, howdy Joel, huge fan of your channel. Question mark? You're a huge fan of my channel. Well, thank you. Or are you asking me? Am I a huge fan of my own channel? Of which I am, the world's biggest fan. But thank you for 15 months. Thanks for sticking around. It's Christmas Carol 1984 with David Warner, if you've seen it. Damn, it's been forever. Have you ever watched Gundam? I did used to watch Gundam because it would come on after Dragon Ball Z back in like 5th grade, right? And, but I wasn't a huge fan of Gundam. I was later, but I feel like when I was younger, it was almost like a little bit too much politics for me. And what I mean by politics is not like modern day politics, but like the politics of the world, you know, like, I don't know, intricate discussions about what to do, like with military planning and things like that. And I, you know, the interpersonal drama of like characters, I don't know, just didn't really resonate with me as a kid. I really like Dragon Ball and just fucking powering the fuck up and punching someone. Space war politics, yeah. War and death. Yeah, I can't tell you I knew a single thing about the Gundam fucking story at all. I used to use Crunchyroll, now I watch Man Man. My special website for free. Hell yeah, let's go. Trunks, though. Can't go wrong with purple hair Trunks. What about Trunks? Trunks' voice actor. How about her, huh? Okay, where are we at here? What do I think of FNAF 2? Is that out yet? FNAF 2. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the film. When's the release date? Releases December 2nd. Oh, it's out. Okay, I didn't see it, I guess. Ghost in the Shell. I watched the series on Adult Swim, but watched the first movie first time a few weeks ago. Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies ever, honestly. Just overall in general, I love Ghost in the Shell, the movie. I should probably watch the series. I need to be a voice actor. I mean, that'd be sick, dude. I just have no idea how to make it happen. I mean, I even dude, it's crazy. I literally talked to like a talent agency, right? And because someone told me you just need an agent. So in my mind, I was like, this is it. This is the big one. But then that talent agency is like, sorry, we only get people voice acting jobs for like the big movies, you know, like, so it was like Chris Pratt and like Jack Black type vibes, you know, so it's like the big celebrities get to be in like the $1 billion, you know, Minecraft bullshit. I was like, what the fuck? Well, can you at least connect me with someone? And then they just didn't. So I was like, wow, thanks so much for that. That was so fucking helpful. It's about who you know. I mean, the one girl that I knew briefly, she's really sweet. She was a voice actor for Dragon Ball. What the fuck is the more recent one? It was like basically there's a newer Dragon Ball series, not the newest one, but like a newer one before the newest one. And she was a voice actor over in Flower Mound, you know, Texas and stuff. But it literally just came down to her taking a voice acting class that was like met in person. The person there that taught it liked her, and then you know, he was also the like talent, you know what I mean, like the talent scout or what, you know, the production director or like person that fills the slots for, you know, acting at the, Jesus Christ, what's that company called? I'm such an idiot. YouTube personality, you got to use that network to get into indie voice acting. Yeah, I mean, I'd be much better. Let's see. Flower Mound voice acting. Jesus Christ. Funimation. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Funimation is now part of Crunchyroll, but like basically they got in with Funimation over there, and then they were, you know, you have to work in Funimation at Flower Mound, you had to be within like 30 minutes or 2 hours of the studio. So if they need you to come in and do like recording, you can come in and do it, right? So like if you do want to do like actual voice acting, you genuinely have to move. You have to move somewhere and be near it. Now at the end of the day, I have a pretty amazing thing here with the YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So it's like, I mean, that is voice acting to some extent, you know, even if it's just narration. But anyways, it was literally her meeting the person who was like the talent director or whatever at the voice acting class that got her the job. And then she eventually transitioned from that to moving out to LA to then, you know, pursuing a much higher voice acting thing. But that's not to say that she's not incredibly talented, because she is. She's like incredibly talented. And I think that's kind of what it comes down to, is like, you know, luck. Your luck in your success in something is basically your preparation. Preparation meets opportunity. So your preparation for that opportunity to meet someone that's going to get you a good job is basically what constitutes that like big break or whatever in the direction you're trying to go. Meets poopertunity. Preparation H meets your anus. This is my preparation, yeah, right here. I mean, I just don't have a lot of like, I mean, I have a good voice acting instinct, right? You know, I just don't have a lot of like, I don't create like a reel a lot, you know, I don't know. But it's been frustrating because like you take some of the voice acting classes and it's just kind of like, it's like all of them are just trying to like milk you, you know what I mean? Milk your prostate. My story, have a great one for you that's real. Let's go. Send it in. Let's read submissions at gmail.com. Oh, Justin's dad's famous? What the heck? Who's your famous dad, Justin? Talking about your hometown? Oh, you're from Flower Mound? That's pretty sick. You could be a voice actor, bro. Get over there. If you do Pee Wee Herman, you're all good.
Oh, jeez, man, this is so crazy, man.
Just need a big break, yeah. Someone did email me related to, there's a website called Backstage that I worked with. They emailed me right before the stream saying they wanted me to work on some projects, so I asked her what it is, so I guess we'll find, who knows, maybe they responded. Let's check. Guys, let's check live right now. You'll get to see my big break. They did not respond. Fuck. They told me to end it all. Alright. Me. Story 2 of 4. I think my first 6 months of trucking must have aged me by about 5 years, and for the first 2, I felt like I was in pure survival mode. Everything I was taught in CDL schools seemed like it was written by someone who sat behind a desk, not a wheel. And no matter how many pamphlets you read or video seminars you watch, nothing prepares you for backing up a 53-foot trailer in a truck stop fuel island at 2 a.m. and with 4 other drivers waiting behind you. I must have burned through 100 gallons of gas just practicing backing up in empty lots, ideally at night too, when nobody could see me sweat. And although I've obviously gotten better over the years, I still get tight in the chest whenever I see a truck parking in rear on a receiver that looks a little too tight. Needless to say, the learning curve was brutal. And in my 3rd week, I forgot to crank my landing gear all the way up, which cost me a damaged trailer and an $800 deductible. And I also learned really quick that the whole 11-hour driving limit isn't a suggestion. I remember I hit 10:59 one night and I thought that I could push for another 45 minutes or so to get home. Maybe 20 minutes later, I literally started seeing the reflectors on the white line start dancing in front of me. I ended up pulling over into a Walmart parking lot where I slept like the dead for 8 hours solid. Long-haul trucking is 20% learning to drive the truck and 80% learning how to live in it. It was a real grind, and then for around 4 or 5 months in, things started to click. I got my sleep schedule down with a 5-hour split and a 6-hour bunk nap that actually worked for me. And then after a while, things like chaining up in the snow or dealing with four-wheelers who think the left lane is their own birthright started to become second nature to me. It was humbling, exhausting, but honestly kind of addicting once I realized that I actually... Addicting. Dude, I can't wait for Christmas. Holy shit, dude. It's going to be so sick. It's not for the presents. I just like can't wait to eat cookies and fucking ham and drink eggnog with alcohol in it. Mainly the alcohol part, I guess, but fuck, it's going to be so sick. Lord Jesus, please let there not be any false flag or real flag terrorist attacks occurring on Christmas. I don't want anything to ruin it. In Jesus' name, amen. Boom. Boom. That one prayer just saved all of us Christmas. Saved every Christmas ever. Especially this one. You're drinking your bourbon right now? Let's go. Do you prefer getting or gifting presents? Dude, I love gifting presents, man. I love it. I love giving gifts to people. It makes me so happy. And not even from like a selfish way. Like someone told me earlier, they gave me a gift and they were like, I'm selfish. I like to give gifts. I'm like, what do you mean? You're generous? And they're like, no, you have to react a certain way to the gift that I give you or I'm not getting something from it. And I'm like, I don't really understand what the fuck you're talking about, but okay. Justin with the 5 says, I'm going to tell Santa you put you on the stinky list. Yeah, he comes around down the chimney with a fucking bar of soap. No! He's like, come here. I just want to wash your asshole a little bit. Bend over. What are you supposed to mix with eggnog? I think it's supposed to be like bourbon and whiskey. Because I got like pre-mixed eggnog that's made with peanut butter whiskey. Remember the screwball shit that I got for my birthday? It's that shit, bro. It's gonna be good. They need validation from your reaction. Yeah, it's like, it would be sad if someone was disappointed in your gift, but even if they are, I'm just like, whatever. They don't like it. But I feel like I seldom get someone a gift that they don't like. Like, that would suck. My Christmas was celebrated today, basically. Opened my presents early, and my family usually does it early since we aren't about waiting now, and we had burgers for Christmas dinner with, Christmas burgers. Interesting. I feel like there was a long time when I was a kid where I genuinely believed that burgers were made out of pig, and they are not. Most of them. Oh, Emily, what's up? Do you still... Wait, Emily, you do stand-up comedy, right? Are you writing jokes still? Oh, Emily, I thought of a joke for you. Let me know if you want my joke. I know nothing about eggnog, but I'm drinking bourbon right now, so I'm fine. Yeah, honestly, it's probably not smart to mix, like, dairy with alcohol. My brother's making some grus tacos for Christmas Eve. Let's go. Oh, I'm waiting for her to respond. Please respond. I sent you my clam. You mean me or another Emily? I thought your profile picture was... Who the fuck was the one that does stand-up comedy? Someone here I thought does stand-up comedy. I thought it was you with your PFP. But maybe I'm wrong. It was you and like and Charles Chicken or something. What's my cologne? Whatever Genghis Khan wears, that's what I wear. I mixed rum chata with wine. I guess rum chata. Holy shit. Sammy. It was another Emily. Oh, sorry, Emily. Maybe it was. Yeah. Weird. Who the fuck? That's weird. I thought there was like a girl in here that did... Oh, well. Anyways. I'll tell you the joke. It was basically... this was kind of a bad joke, but you would have to learn how to phrase it, but when I said it earlier to my friend, it landed pretty hard, but it was mainly like it was done in the moment. So once again, when I like write jokes down and tell them, they aren't as funny. But the premise is basically like he was telling me about how someone he talked to saw at his office that there was a AA book in his office, and then the person that he was with asked like, were you in Alcoholics Anonymous? And then he was like, oh no, I'm sorry, somebody else shares the office, and it may have just been a book related to, you know, in correlation to whatever. And he was like, oh, okay. I mean, just because I've been sober 30 years this October, and I'm just so thankful. And I don't know what I said, but I was like, sober for 30 years, and he's still talking about it? Get over it already. Move on. Or have a drink. Or, I don't know. Basically, I was just like saying how like people, it seems like every time you talk to someone who's been like sober from something for like a long ass time, they always got to tell you about it. And I'm like, all right, get over it. Nah. Yeah, move on, nerd. I do joke around, but not stand-up comedian, just naturally funny sometimes. Maybe that's it. Maybe just hilarious every time you come in here. Honestly, if you've been sober for 30 years, you might as well have a drink, right? I mean, I think you earned it. Yeah, it's like CrossFit. They get sober and then they join CrossFit, and then they got to tell you about CrossFit. You do want to do stand-up comedy, Pats? How are you going to do stand-up comedy as a doctor? I guess you could. You just would have to figure out how to do it in your spare time. I had a psychic feeling you were alive, but yes, I've been sober for over a year, and tell people what. No, it's good for you. It's good for everybody. Honestly, don't ever go back. I'm just poking fun, honestly. I'm not like being serious at all. It's like, that's the one crazy thing about it philosophically too, is just the idea that like, are they talking about it still because there's like an innate desire within them to do it? Probably, right? But God forbid that they do. I count my blessings, because like I said, I have a sibling who deals with addiction, you know what I mean? But God love him, he's trying, I guess. But at the same time, I just think to myself, I'm like, I am no better than any drug addict or alcoholic or anything. Like I could at any moment find myself addicted to something and unable to escape it, because it's really hard for me to go too long, maybe 3 months at a time, without having at least one stuffed crust pizza. Like that shit is very, very addicting. And yeah, Dr. Pepper, come on. I'm not above it. I'm excited for alcohol. It's a red flag. Well, I don't do it by myself. That's a one indicator. You don't want to do drinking by yourself. But like once you're to that stage where you drink by yourself frequently, like more than, I don't know, I want to say like more than 2 days a week by yourself, you might have to be careful, because the thing is it's so insidious. You know what I mean? It's so insidious how quickly your body becomes reliant upon said substance. Have you tried the Dr. P and eggnog? That's brilliant. That's actually brilliant. I might do that. We're doing it tomorrow. Does it count as drinking by yourself if you are in a call with a friend? You should be fine, honestly. I won't tell your accountability partner. I thought you're sipping the devil's sweat, boy. For some reason I read that as you're sipping the devil's sweat, meat boy. Like you called me meat boy. I don't know. Okay. It was humbling, exhausting, but honestly kind of addicting once I realized that I was actually getting good at something that scared the hell out of you in week 1. And I remember being on one particular run and thinking to myself, yeah, this is the life for me. But it wasn't all sunshines and rainbows, and back in those early days, I made a couple of seriously grave mistakes, and one of them almost cost me my life. And so one morning I'm cruising through Oregon just after crossing the Idaho state line on the 84, and it's one of those gray Pacific Northwest days. I'm in the middle of nowhere, and it's me, my radio, and a flask full of Go Juice. It's all quiet on either side of me, and then suddenly, I see a truck of some kind zooming up the highway behind me. Now, as it got closer, I realized that it was a blacked-out Chevy pickup with tinted windows and no markings, and it was flying up my driver's side so fast that I might as well have been parked. Now, I remember thinking, who the hell is this asshole? But no sooner had that question entered my head, my rear view lit up like the 4th of July. The driver of the black Chevy had placed a set of red and blue LEDs on the top of his truck, and the moment I saw them, My heart jumped straight up into my throat. Unmarked units freak me out, man, and they still do. And so as those lights are strobing so hard it looks like a damn rave was popping off in my mirrors, I flicked on my four-ways and then slowed as I tried to find a spot that isn't a 6-inch soldier. 6-inch soldier, huh?
6-inch soldier reporting for duty, sir.
Chill drinking buddy or fun drinking buddy without taking care of them if they go overboard. Yeah, you gotta be careful. You like to ride that line, man. Ride that line. Small soldiers.
Tiny soldiers reporting for duty.
Last time I did it, like 2 sips and slept the whole day and night afterwards, so yeah, not for me. What'd you sip? Is my gym going good? It's in a much better spot. I think I told you a while back that my business partner kind of screwed my butt, but then I paid someone to come in and kind of like clean up the mess, but then they kind of completed their job, so they're sort of transitioning out while someone else is also coming in to sort of take over the primary managerial process, but also get a percentage of the business. And yeah, things are definitely in a much better position than they were before. And the nice thing is the new person that I brought on, who eventually wants to buy the business from me, has a very strong passion for said business and the ability to, you know, make it succeed. Yeah, so things are going good, and you know, at least there's like a positive outlook. It's just tough, man. It really, I mean, I've bitched about this before, but it is really, really just like tough, like having friends who are poor. No, I'm just kidding. But like having friends who are poor who take from you and take advantage of you in a way that just feels really scummy. The Ram Ranch. Yeah, the gym's called Ram Ranch. Lynn, thank you for the gifter to Motions in Accounting. Thank you. Am I still friends with him? I am, but it's really hard to like look at him the same, you know what I mean? Cause like this friend like promised me it was only gonna be X amount, right, when we started out. And it's like, okay. And then it grew to XXX amount, right? And then from that point, it was like things weren't going great, but I always had sort of like faith that we were right on that like, you know, cusp of making profit, and it was like sustainable. And then out of nowhere, I think I told you that he had dropped the bomb on me that we were 5 months behind on rent. And I had to pay that, right? Because, you know, otherwise the doors would shutter and all this stuff. And it was just like so miserable looking at him. And then whenever I paid another friend to come in and figure out like to, you know, in my stead, to like look through all the finances and figure out what the fuck's going on, they come to find that he had also taken out like 3 credit cards to like avoid telling me that he was 5 months behind on rent. And so I had to pay the 5 months behind on rent. I had to pay the fucking credit cards off, all to get us to like, you know, basically baseline. Thankfully, I was able to like renegotiate things around or whatever to have like complete majority ownership of everything. But it was just, yeah, literally the Bank of Joel. But it was, I don't know, it's just one of those miserable moments where you're like, you look at a person that you looked up to, a grown-ass gentleman, right? And you just see a degree of weakness and retardation in their eyes that you have not seen in anyone before. And it just makes you so incredibly sick inside. You wish you could be their wife to divorce them, right? Like, I wish I was a woman. I wish I was married to him. And then I wish I could divorce him and take everything from him forever to make him miserable. I didn't do that. Obviously, it's not legal in this state. No, I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? It's just, it was one of those moments where you're like, well, never doing this fucking ever again. You have ruined my trust with any friend ever. How was he able to get 3 fucking credit cards? I don't know, bro. Yeah, literally nothing to take. And that's the thing too, is you learn, it's like when someone has nothing to... You think to yourself you're like giving someone an opportunity so they have everything to gain. But everything to gain, all that means in the opposite way is they have nothing to lose. And when you have nothing to lose, you're probably not going to try very hard. You know?
Kitty, what are you doing?
I can like see his tail poking through. It's funny. Dude, I love my cat. My cat is like probably one of the coolest cats. I wish everyone had a cat like mine. He's just like such a good boy. He's never mean. He's never rude. He's just here for the ride. So as those lights are strobing so hard it looks like a damn rave was popping off in my mirrors, I flicked on my four-ways and then slowed as I tried to find a spot that isn't a 6-inch shoulder with a guardrail. After my tires hit the rumble strips, I threw on the parking brakes and then sat there with my hands at 10 and 2 like I was taught. You don't reach for crap when you're getting pulled over in a rig because cops do not like that height difference. Now anyways, the truck's driver, Will Wheaton. Did I buy him a cat vibrator? No, Fry. No. You furry. Fry's the only furry mod in the chat. Make a video of him to the Peter Griffin audio. My black son. Maybe we can see what we can do. Is the audio available on Instagram? It's hard to get loans, credit cards when you put self-employed YouTuber under a job title. Oh, is it hard? No, it's not. The banks are just as dumb as they were in 2008. But as long as you can, honestly, at the end of the day, as long as your credit's good and you can show your income, like, nobody gives a fuck. They're like, oh, can you barely pay it? All right, here's everything. Here's all of our bank's vault of gold. Oh yeah, we got everybody in the chat's got blue name. We got Lynn, we got Fry, we got Justin, we got Babes. We got, that's, how many is that? Lynn, Fry, Justin, Babes? That's 4, okay. What's my other mod? I think there's a few other mods, they're just not here right now. I hope Hawk is doing good, though. We haven't seen Hawk in, like, a New York minute. Anyways, the truck's driver hops out and he's wearing a full tactical vest and pistol belt. He's got no state police hat, just a badge attached to the same belt as his holster. Holter? Is holter the word? Or do they mean to type holster? Holter. Holter monitor? So that, wait, maybe they meant holster. I feel like they have to mean holster. Hawktua. Don't worry, Joel, he's doing good. I check on him on the reggie. Okay, that's good. I drink till I couldn't walk before. It's such a weird feeling. I think it'd be hard to drink up to 3 weeks straight. Jesus. Until you couldn't walk anymore, yikes. I'd be puking my guts out. That's kind of one of the fortunate parts about any drinking experience I've had is it doesn't take much for me to get to the point of throwing up. So I've never, like, I don't know, I'm pretty much a lightweight. 3 weeks straight, holy fuck. How does your, like, liver and pancreas not just explode? Anyway, the truck's driver hops out and he's wearing a full tactical vest and pistol belt. He's got no state police hat, just a badge attached to the same belt as his holster, but I couldn't make out any details on it. And as he came walking up to my driver's side like he owned the highway, I was running every possible thing I could have done wrong in my head, be it my logbook, my lights, my plates, my overweight, or my IFTA sticker. And I rolled the window down slow as the guy got closer, and then he stopped and peeked around my cab for a second before he spoke, like he was looking for Escobar hiding in my bunk. My bunk. Oh yeah, Hannah. Wonder what Hannah's been up to. Hannah Banana. That'd be kind of sick if they made a Donkey Kong game, but you're a long haul trucker. That's the kind of thing that I could have seen them do, like that's the kind of shit that Nintendo does whenever it puts out like a game. Like it won't have like a really popular IP for like 13 years, and then it will come back and it's Conky Dong with with an 18-wheeler for some reason. Donkey Kong long haul driver. You're just like, what the fuck is this stupid shit? Just let me gather bananas and jump on people's fucking heads. It's so simple. I'm the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future. I'm the ghost of Christmas ass. The way I be stinking. You ever think you'll get Beyond Good and Evil 2 as a PS2 game and the sequel is confirmed like in 2018? I mean, the trailer for it looked crazy cool. I mean, way back in the day. I don't know if it's been like canceled or postponed or what the fuck. Ghost of Christmas trash, yeah. Just digging around out there. I rolled my window down slow as the guy got closer, and then stopped, and peeked around my cab for a second before he spoke, like he was looking for Escobar hiding in my bunk. Now, I wished him a good evening, even called him officer, and then when he asked for my license, registration, logbook, and medical card, I handed them over. Now, I waited a couple of seconds as he looked them over and then asked who he was with. And without even looking up at me, he just simply replied, "State," and then kept on looking over my stuff. Now, he looked for no more than maybe 10 to 20 seconds, but it felt like much longer. Now, meanwhile, I'm just sitting there with my hands at 10 and 2, hoping he's just gonna tell me that I got a faulty tail light or something and then send me on my way. But then instead, he told me to step out of the cab because he wanted to see what was inside my trailer. Now, my stomach just about dropped straight through the frame rail when he said it, not because I was doing anything wrong, but because I was still so terrified of making a mistake and losing the respect of my boss and my fellow truck drivers. After putting my high vis and after putting on my high vis and climbing out of my cab, I walked around to the back with the guy in his black uniform, and he tells me to break the seal and open her up, both doors too, because he wants to, quote, see all the way up the nose. And all the words and terms he used, they made me think that he had a lot of experience, so even though I didn't recognize the badge on his belt, and didn't have any name tags or an insignia on his shirt or vest, I just sort of went with it. I pulled my Gerber and cut through the plastic bolt seal. Number 782991K, I still remember it, and then dropped it into my pocket like I'd been taught. I swung open the right front door. Fuck me, man. I love playing through old Beyond Good and Evil on PC. I bought it at a store and without knowing any... I don't even remember what it's about or like how it plays. Like, what kind of game is it? Beyond Good and Evil. Yeah. Mods? It had a pig man in it. Yeah, I don't even know. I pulled my Gerber and cut through the plastic bolt seal. number 78299-1K. I still remember it, and then dropped it into my pocket like I'd been taught. I swung open the right door first and then the left, making sure to latch them both back. And the whole time the guy was watching me, arms crossed, cold as ice. I wasn't 100% sure what the load was, I just knew that it was written in as sporting goods, but that's not what a cop would have been interested in, not unless they got a tip that we were moving drugs or something. Now instead, I figured he just was... What's up, Sonomi? Now instead, I figure that he wants to check my pallets and make sure that they're floor-loaded and tight, no more than 3 tiers high, etc. Now some cops gets very... Dude, I'm fucking up here, what the fuck? Thanks for joining us for the ritual. No, instead, I figured he just wanted to check my pallets, make sure that they're floor-loaded, tight, and no more than 3 tiers high, etc. Some cops get antsy about voids either, as in like small spaces between your pallets. But this guy didn't strike me as a regular traffic cop, and neither did he seem interested in the spaces between the pallets. I told him my bills were clean, that there was no hazmat inside, and nothing which required temp control either. But he didn't say a single word in reply. Instead, he just kept on checking out what I was carrying, and until he was suddenly starting... Instead, he just... What the fuck? Until he suddenly started... Okay. I wonder if the way I titled the last video was what made it do well. Because what do you guys think about this title? 8 creepy true Christmas stories Santa wants us to forget. With him going shh. So, I don't know, I feel like that's a pretty sick title, honestly. What should I name this next one about truckers? Hey Emma, what's up? What's the pup? I'd click that. Alright, instead, he just kept on checking what I was carrying, until he suddenly started poking his lights between pallets, kicking straps, and checking for false walls. I figured it was useless to ask the guy what he was looking for, so I just sort of stood there watching him as he took one last look in the scuff. And after that, he came walking back toward me, before hopping out of the truck and looking like it was something he'd done 1,000 times before. I asked the guy if I was good to close the trailer over again, but I knew that he wouldn't leave just yet because I needed the paperwork to explain why the seal was broken. But then instead of answering my question, he asked if I got the truck's keys on me. I told him no, that they were in the cab, but the guy told me to stay where I was and that I needed to hang tight for him. And it was only then that I started to get frustrated, but I didn't get mad. I just asked him what was going on. But once again, the guy ignored my question, and then he raised 2 fingers to his mouth and blew a loud, ear-piercing whistle. And this is the part where I started to get really confused, not to mention nervous too, because the second guy whistled all loud like he did, maybe 12 to 15 of his buddies. Oh, that was a weird jump and everything all at once. 5 golden rings, 4 creepy trucker stories Santa wants us to forget. Shh, that's in the title. Jesus Christ, Santa does not want us to remember any of these fucking stories. Just add 6, 7. Yeah. Like a skeleton. Or like someone getting bashed over the head with a hammer while saying 6, 7. 6, 7. What's up, Jeanette? You're supposed to eat a lot of butter on Christmas Eve. Is that true? It's a Pennsylvania tradition. We didn't churn all this butter for nothing. It was for this day here. Better get to eating. Slopping it up. Why butter? 'Cause it's a tradition. You don't question traditions. You just do it. This is the part where I started to get really confused, not to mention nervous too, Because the second the guy whistled all loud like that, maybe 12 to 15 of his buddies appeared from the nearby tree line and then came running towards the truck. I panicked, and my first thought was to run for the cab, but as I started to back up away from him, the guy pulled the pistol from his holster and told me not to move. All I could do was freeze at the sight of the gun and raise my hands in this sort of don't shoot me kind of way. I didn't have the right certification to drive long haul with a gun, so I kind of just screwed up either way, so like I said, all I did was freeze up. And the only thing that got me moving again was when the guy told me to get on my knees. And since I really didn't like the idea of that, I told him no, while I just kept on backing up towards my door. Now I'm proud of myself for that little piece of defiance, no matter how brief it was, but it didn't last. And after the guy cocked that pistol back, had it ready to fire, and gave me the order a second time, it was like my knees involuntarily buckled underneath me. I didn't want to comply, but I also knew it was the best shot at staying alive. If I ran, I had maybe 20% chance of getting away. I ran! And after the guy cocked his pistol, it gave me, I didn't want to comply. I should do a drunk stream. Maybe I'll do one for New Year's Eve. I don't know. I don't think I have much going on. A good video gameplay and Joel drunk. The perfect world. Wait, well, we're definitely going to do that when that one game we talked about, Reanimal, comes out. But if there's any other good horror games, let me know. Drunk horror gaming. I ran! Are you streaming on New Year's, Joe? I thought you would also take the day off. Well, let's see. What day is New Year's? Oh, that's next fucking week. New Year's Eve is a Wednesday, so I kind of have to stream. And I genuinely don't really imagine that I'll go, like, out whenever I have a video due the next day. When I got homework due, I got class in the morning. Staying alive. Outlast. Maybe something newer, you know. It's your birthday Wednesday? Perfect, let's go. Let's fucking go, dude. I didn't want to comply, but I also knew it was my best shot at staying alive. If I ran, I had maybe 20% chance of getting away. But lunge at the guy and try to be a hero, then I was a dead man. So I kneeled, put my hands behind my head like he asked, and then watched as he took a few careful steps towards me and put his pistol right up to my forehead. Now call me dumb all you want. I know I was. But it was only then that things really clicked for me. Not even the biggest a-holes among the state troopers or feds would be dumb enough to put a gun to a man's head, let alone an innocent trucker. Whoever these guys were, they weren't police, and I very much doubted that they worked for the government. Now saying that, I couldn't rule it out entirely, not in the moment, and that's when he pushed me to... Joel, you should make a video with your own personal scary stories. I think we kind of did that before, didn't we? I don't even know too many scary things that's occurred to me other than interacting with crazy fans. Am I right, guys? Do the hot lava plunge in Mount Wanahakalugi. Start the new year clean-shaven or with a beard. Should you start it? Dude, if you're going to be a doctor, you kind of have to shave every day type shit, you know what I mean? You're going to be dealing with a lot of gross stuff. And I don't know, I feel like sometimes when people are clean-shaven, they get taken a little more seriously. Do you remember that time you were narrating stories? I vaguely recall that. Do you have or shave your eyebrows? Yeah, my eyebrows have been singed off entirely. They're just not there. You want to be a mod? You can be a Reddit mod. Would you want to be a Reddit mod? And that's what pushed me to... Saying that, Oh, that sounds weird too. Everything sounds weird. Saying that, I couldn't rule it out entirely, not in the moment. And that's what pushed me to ask him, "Who the hell are you guys?" And as you can probably guess, he didn't answer my question. Instead, he did that same thing of asking one of his own. And with that gun pushed right up against my forehead, the guy asked if I was an American. And then when I told him yeah, he told me, not just a citizen, and then asked if I was a real American. I didn't know exactly what he meant by that, because what the hell does a real American even mean? But all the same, I told him I was born and raised in New Jersey, so yes, I was a real American. And there was a moment after that where I was kind of thinking, is this guy from immigration or something? What the hell is this? But then just from the look on his face, I knew this was almost personal to him. He didn't look all that... Divine Jupiter, welcome back for 4 months. Says, hey Joel, Merry Christmas. By the way, what's your thoughts on the recent Game Awards? I didn't really watch it per se, so I can't really speak too much on it. I heard there was a lot of Expedition 33 stuff, which I do plan on playing at some point. I'm kind of over the Game Awards, at least from the perspective of there's nothing against Jeff Keighley. Like, he seems like a nice guy. I just feel like he seems like this sort of ageless entity from like the Secure, Contain, Protect universe that's just like kept behind a glass cage, and he's like, hey guys, I'm Jeff Keighley. And that's all he says, and then your head fucking explodes. Yeah. Oh wait, the only thing I cared about in the game was the new Control game. Oh dude, that's exactly what I was thinking about when I was thinking about Jeff Keighley being kept in a cage, was the Control game. So that's, that seems a little interesting. Maybe he will be in the new Control game then as one of the oddities. Need to finish the new Silent Hill. Gag reel of all time, Joel stumbled and says, Cock and Balls. Hello everyone, it's me, Joel Cock and Balls. 33 won 9 awards. Yeah, that's crazy. Must be a good one. I don't know. There's just no, I don't know. I heard it costs like over $1 million. $1 million to get a spot at the Game Awards or something, which is just, doesn't that seem like extortion at that fucking point? You know what I mean? Like, I would rather just sit and watch a series of like curated game trailers on a YouTube channel at that fucking point for goddamn free. $1 million. Like some ridiculous amount to like get a spot on there. Jeff Keighley, you know what? Fuck it. We're gonna look up a little bit of info on Jeff Keighley. Blood type and all. What's Geoff Keighley's net worth? If it's in the 20 millions, I'm gonna shit my pants. It's not privately. Okay, estimated net worth around 5 million. Some sources range 3 to 8. Well, that's not bad. I wasn't sure if he was just like straight up milking it, straight up gumping it. Malice the Grey with the 10 says, hi Joseph. Hi chat, I miss y'all. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you, Malice. What's new? What's been going on? Thank you for the 10. Very kind. You guys even learn about this stuff? I swear I didn't know what's going on. What, the Game Awards? Well, if you're interested in something, you're gonna know about it, right? Are there any parents in chat? Can someone explain to me why my neighbor's kids are up at midnight? Probably no school tomorrow, right? Since it's Christmas Eve. How do you know they're awake? Yeah, he's just like looking through the window. Doing spells and witchy stuff. It's more expensive to go to the Game Awards or the Super Bowl. Who knows? I don't even know why. There's just been, there's been some decent games, but also I felt kind of bad. Yeah, Kojima, I don't even think got nominated for anything, but I wasn't really sure how good. What was that game? Death Stranding 2? Was that any good? Anybody try it? You guys have seen this? You heard about this? But then, just from the look on his face, I knew this was almost personal for him. He didn't look at all that satisfied with my answer. And then after asking my name, he asked me, are you a Jew? Now, I'm not Jewish, and although my dad was also born and raised in New Jersey, His parents are both from Turkey, and I inherited some of their darker features. And that actually wasn't the first time that I'd been asked if I was Jewish, but the first time, I just calmly explained that no, my dad was Turkish Muslim. But obviously, given the implication of the guy's question, I knew it was not a good idea to tell him that. And so instead, I thought on my feet and told him my dad was Greek. Greek Christian, too, just because I figured that that was what he wanted to hear. But again, he didn't seem entirely satisfied with that answer. Now, it looked like he was thinking for a second, and then he nodded and gave me the closest thing I got to an explanation. He said since I was a real American, I should be happy that he and his buddies were getting their hands on the contents of my truck. He told me to be a good little citizen and reported exactly what had happened so I wouldn't lose my job. And he also said that I could be happy that any goods were going to a very worthy cause, and that what might hurt me in the short term, and very superficially at that, would benefit me a whole lot. Wait, what? MOD stands for musty old dude. True. All my mods be musty. Joel, I'm a senior citizen trying to keep abreast of current online presence. That's fair. That's a fair endeavor. What would you like to know? What would you like to know about the world of the internet? Skibbity Toilet has become a terrorist organization. They will blow up something. Blow up your toilet, I guess. Your commode. Just watch Welcome to the Internet by Bo Burnham. That's funny, yeah. Bo's funny. Bo's a funny old guy. But he also said that I could be happy that the goods were going to a very worthy cause, and that what might hurt me in the short term, and very superficially at that, would benefit me a whole lot in the long term. And while he's saying all of that to me, his buddies, who were also wearing all black military gear and a lot of face masks too, were busy unloading my truck. And I later found out that the sporting goods that I was trucking were more like a home defense haul, because it consisted of a lot of ammunition, a ton of MREs, and even things like bulletproof vests too. It wasn't all that stuff like that. Fuck. It wasn't all stuff like that. There were a lot of blaze orange hunting clothing in there too, but those boys in black seemed to know exactly which pallets they were supposed to be looking for, and once they had as much as they could carry, they hauled ass back in the direction of the tree line carrying 2 or 3 boxes apiece. The guy in front of me, who was just wearing sunglasses and a baseball cap, kept that gun on me until all of his buddies were out of sight. And then he asked me something which had my heart pounding in my chest. He asked if he needed to shoot me. He asked if he needed to shoot me, because if I was going to rush back to my cab once he turned back, to grab a gun and try to be a hero, then he'd just blow me right there. He'd just blow me. He'd just suck me off right there. Alright, nobody laugh at that. He asked me if he needed to shoot me, because if I was going to rush back to my cab once he turned his back to grab a gun and try to be a hero, then he'd just blow me away. God damn it, blow me away. Blow you away. Right, blow me away right there and then and save us both the blood and ammo. I'm chilly. Out of context comp when? I wish, dude. I wish there was like a much easier way to like out of context make clips of, I mean, you can do clips on YouTube, but it just gets like saved to the live stream or some shit, and you can't really like download the videos, right? It would just be really fun if, you know what I mean, like kind of like how Twitch is, where I say something silly and then it becomes like a fun clip or whatever in a meme or something, but I guess I'll never know. I've said like probably 10 million funny things in my streaming career, and I've never heard a single one of them back to me. Bombaclat. He asked if he needed to shoot me because if I was going to go rushing back to my cab once I turned his back, motherfucker. He asked if he needed to shoot me because if I was going to go rushing back to my cab once he turned his back to grab a gun and try to be a hero, then he'd just blow me away right there and then and save us both the blood and ammo. I told him I didn't have one, which, like I already said, was the God's honest truth. And he just laughed as he put his own gun away and told me that I should really see about getting something to protect myself with. And then after telling me to stay on my knees till he'd driven off, the guy walked back to his truck, climbed into the driver's seat, and took off down the highway into that. Then after telling me to stay on my knees till he'd driven off, the guy walked back to his truck, climbed into the driver's seat, and took off down the highway in that blacked-out Chevy of his. Procedure stated that I was to inform the cops of any kind of robbery as soon as I was physically able to. And so, that's the first thing I did. I then called my route manager from the same payphone to let him know that I'd be delivering late and light. And he actually laughed as he told me that I was the first truck to be robbed in just over 20 years. The only one driver for our company, at least. The only one driving for our company, at least. Now, I know he was only laughing because I was okay and that the only trailer had been stolen. Why the fuck am I struggling with these? Like, I just can't seem to decipher. I miss when life was simple and I had celebrity crushes and watched YouTube videos of them. Well, you can still do that. Just never grow up and never change. Just Peter Pan syndrome in your room till you're rotting in pizza boxes. Hey, October Fawn, take care. Merry Christmas. Japan would be so cool. I'd need like 2 months to travel everywhere. Yeah, 2 months is definitely bare minimum. You haven't had a celebrity crush in ages? Well, I think it's because nowadays we just like know what they're like. Like, what the fuck? I mean, they do a good job at hiding themselves, but the internet is just like full of so much information, right? So if you want to look up a celebrity, they can never operate as sort of like a mystical being to you anymore. They're just like every YouTuber, but maybe like a little bit prettier. Yeah, and what the fuck? I'm the goddamn celebrity crush here, okay? Big fan, sending good vibes from Arizona. Thank you, Pink. Good to see you. Thank you. I know he was only laughing because I was okay, and that only the trailer had been stolen, not the semi itself. Now, I'd be lying if I didn't feel a sort of rush from it too, having gone from thinking that I was going to die to smoking a cigarette at the side of the highway and making jokes with the cops photographing the open doors of my trailer. I was later told that the people who robbed me were most likely members of what the cops called the Silent Brotherhood, some militia-type group who were based in the Pacific Northwest. They went on to do a bunch of other stuff like that, robbing and killing, and I always felt very lucky that I got to talk away. Talk away? I got to walk and talk. Did you guys ever have anything in school that was like very specifically like specific to your school? Like a fucking class called Walk and Talk? Or like you had like a weird name for your recess or just like some weird name for lunch. You know what I'm talking about? Like they had some like dumbass acronym to like describe your recess rather than just fucking recess. You had an amazing supernatural literature class. Supernatural literature class? Interesting. Had a gym class called Bigger, Faster, Stronger. That's funny. Instead of calling them periods, we had macros. Yeah, stuff like that. It's interesting. What's your latest macro? And everybody just starts saying it because that's what it's called, and now you got a whole new fucking word in your brain. Uninterrupted solitary silent reading, USSR. That's hilarious. I remember that in elementary school, but I can't remember the specific name. Yeah. My son's school had Webb and another one. Who in the chat do you think is the funniest? I don't know. You guys have to have a funny off right now. Leave your funniest joke in the chat right this instant, and I will determine who wins funniest chatter. If you lose, you will be turned into hamburger meat. You went to Avid and had the wheel for determining what kind of band, orchestra, choir. The wheel. So it was just random. Rochambeau to see this funniest. Rochambeau. They went on to do a bunch of other stuff like robbing and killing, and I always felt very lucky that I got to walk away and I didn't end up like that radio DJ guy that ended up murdering just a couple of... That radio DJ guy that... Oh, Jesus Christ, I keep like missing one letter in a word. Fucking crap, mate. What do lawyers wear to courts? Lawsuits. That's good. So far, you're the funniest. They went on to do a bunch of other stuff like that, robbing and killing, and I always felt very lucky that I got to walk away, and I didn't end up like that radio DJ guy that they ended up murdering just a couple of years later. I heard the FBI ended up bringing the Silent Brotherhood down, but I also know that there were many more militias out there. Maybe not all of them are the DJ murdering, trailer robbing kind, but just them existing is enough to give me the willies. Joel was my therapist. He said I'm built different, like incorrectly. Like a hunchback. Guys, I gotta take a piss. I'll be right back. This should be quick. I've taken a piss. I've taken the piss. The one and only piss. You didn't see my super awesome amazing joke? Let's check this out. Let's judge it. Better not be racist. If it's racist, who knows? What was Beyonce's name before she got married? Fiance? Okay, that's racist. Get her out of here, guys. Come on. Pick her up, put her in a casket, and take her to the highest mountain. Deliver her unto the Lord. Deliver her unto the Lord. Okay. Oh, wait, you got a joke too? Let's check it out. Let's look at it. Let's take a peek. Oh, it's been message retracted. What the fuck is this? The Epstein files? A joke so bad it had to be deleted. Probably racist. Oh wait, you didn't delete it? I don't know how to see it. I think he made up the joke. How did the horse know he was sick? He woke up with post-nasal drip. What's up, Shorn? What do you accomplish by making fun of someone? You maw your friends laugh, and I think that's beautiful. How many joules does it take to screw a light bulb? Like to have sex with a light bulb? 6, 7. Okay, so that was story 2. Okay, mission. Begin. What's up, stoned flower? In my 25 years as a long-haul trucker, I've been to some incredible places, and I've met some incredible people, too. It never ceases to amaze me how kind, compassionate, and downright wholesome folks can be to one another and to me. But it also never ceases to amaze me just how damned creepy some folks can be, too. And it stands to reason that it's always the ones you least expect. Many, many years ago, I was driving a big rig through Colorado snowdrifts, and on this leg of the journey, I was somewhere between Denver and Aspen, and it must have been close to 1 o'clock in the morning. Driving an 18-wheeler at night is one thing, but driving through snowy mountains at night is another thing entirely. Accounting for wind chill, outside temperatures reaching -10 degrees Fahrenheit, and then while it's snowing, all your high beams do is create a wall of bouncing light that can cause some really nasty headaches. And all your road markings, reflectors, and shoulders just vanish under the drifting snow, and then there are patches of black ice that you don't know are even there till it's way too late to do anything about it. Mirrors turn into useless bricks of snow, gas sort of gelling. Gas gelling can cause oh, it's all part of the same. Okay. Oh, do you even like cream cheese? I feel like you're faking. Cream cheese. Is that made with milk? I don't think that's an American thing. Cream cheese in a bagel. Cream cheese in a bagel. You know, take a bagel with a smear of poop, side of poop with it. Put the lox and the little bit of poop. Crab rangoon on there. Big pile of poop. Alright. Mirrors turn into useless bricks of snow. Gas gelling can cause a whole bunch of engine problems. Then hit the brakes in the wrong way, and you can jackknife an 80,000 pound piece of heart. Jesus Christ. You said your joke again? Is it getting... I think your jokes might actually be getting... I'll scroll up to see your joke. Scroll up to see my joke. It never ends. Can't wait for this generation to be turning 6, 7, having throwback birthday cakes with their friends. I hope they never forget when they were 9 years old. Six, seven. 6. Just a bunch of like demons whispering in your ear. This is what little kids hear when they're in bed. 6, 6, 6, 7, 6, 6, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. Mirrors turn into useless bricks of snow. Gas gelling can cause a whole bunch of engine problems, and hit the brakes in the wrong way, and you can jackknife an 80,000 piece of hardware. God, motherfucking, son of biatch. 68 plus or minus 1. Where we heading, boys? Is your joke getting deleted? I mean, it might if it's a naughty poo-poo one. I seen it. I seen the joke. There was a joke that not even the funniest guy could tell. Mirrors turn to useless bricks of snow. Gas gelling can cause a whole bunch of engine problems, then hit the brakes in the wrong way, and you can jackknife an 80,000-pound piece of hardware. Needless to say, it can be really tough on a man's nerves, especially if he doesn't have much experience out there on the road. And that's exactly what kind of situation I was in, when something just about scared me half to death. So, I was rolling down I-70 and I just passed Wheeler Junction headed westbound, when out of nowhere, this little pink blur stepped out in front of me from the snowbank on my right. It was like time slowed down for a second. I knew it was a little girl. I knew the only thing that I could do to save her life was slam on my brakes, and that's what I did. The Jake brakes screamed. The Jake brakes? Is that the term? Jake brakes? The Jake brakes. A Jake brake, or Jacob's engine brake, uses diesel engine compression to slow vehicles. Nice. Nice. See y'all next stream. Hopefully Joel's stream on Sunday. Merry Christmas, everyone. See you, Grey Ghost. Good to see you. Thank you. I'll try to... I definitely think I will stream on Sunday. Shouldn't be an issue. Shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be anybody's issue or problem. Really? Really at all? Oh, did you see with the Epstein files... they like released them in a redacted form, but the people that did the redactions put at least the PDFs that were on the internet or whatever that they used, basically the highlight, you highlight the text and you make the text black, and then all the people needed to do was highlight the text and unblack the file, like unblack the letters, and then you can see unredacted Epstein stuff, which was kind of hilarious. And I don't, you know what I mean? I think it's like 100,000 pages or some crazy shit. 6, 7. I don't know. I just saw it, like they literally like put. I don't know. You can double check that for me. But the fact that you can like go, well, that's a good point. Yeah, they think we're such a joke that people will go in there, find shit, and then just be able to do nothing. But, you know, actually, that could be like a major... I'm actually curious to what extent that could be like such a major blunder that it causes the economy to crash or something. Because now everybody is like, well, I guess I'm not ordering from Procter & Gamble anymore. You know who we need? 4chan. 4chan is mainly just fucking like feds and like Israel, from what I hear. Like, I remember like they were able to see the back end of where most of the quote-unquote anti-Semitic posts came from or something on 4chan, and like 80% of it was sent from like Israeli IP addresses. So it's just like, whatever, man. That whole website is just crawling. When Elon was still doing stuff in the government, he was the one who ended the Adobe subscription for everyone. You can't redact correctly without the subscription. It's all part of the plan. Trust the plan. QAnon. And I'm just kidding. But I don't know. Maybe at least people will see what the fuck's going on. You showered, no longer stinky. That was like a 2-hour shower. I've been streaming for that long. You better be like shiny. Did Jake Paul lose at the end of the day, Joey? He made $92 million for getting beat up. Who gives a shit? The Jake Paul fights are like the fakest things of all fucking time. He's not a real boxer, and everything that he does is just like, it's just WWE bullshit, right? It's all fake. And who even cares? Who even cares? Looking at him, like, I don't even care anymore. I was excited to see Mike Tyson do it. Like, if Mike Tyson was the one that, like, smacked his head in, sure. But, like, actively going out of your way to force Mike Tyson to, like, not fight just so you can, like... It just... All Jake Paul reminds me of is, like, that annoying emperor kid from Game of Thrones or whatever. Like, Jake Paul is, like, the king of North Korea, and everybody just has to take a fall to, like, make him feel better. Your first sober live stream in 3 months. You're like, this guy's pretty boring. Cusco. It reminds me of Cusco. The Jake brake screamed, and the trailer groaned as my ABS, the anti-lock braking system, hammered like a machine gun. I yanked the wheel to the left, trying to put the whole damned rig into the oncoming lane because the right side was nothing but guardrail and what looked like a 500-foot drop on the other side. Snow was flying up the tires, chains were rattling like they were fixing to shatter, and there I am, praying harder than I ever did in church that this trailer doesn't jack and take that little girl with it. She looks up at me with these big eyes, frozen like a deer while it still feels like time is dragging. And I remember the split second where I thought, oh God, this is it. I'm gonna be the guy on the news who flattened a kid on a mountain highway and die myself. And the rig slowed, and somehow the good Lord gave me just enough room because I ended up missing the girl by no more than the width of a Bible, I'd say. I slid past, doing maybe 15 with the trailer fishtailing, and while I'm sliding, I catch a glimpse of the girl in the mirror. She just stood there, having not moved a muscle while the snow swirlies. The snow 6-7s. Pull lever, Gronk. Yeah. Hey, Gronk, pull lever. You, hurt the Emperor's groove. I think my favorite Family Guy moment is when Joe gets dragged away by the ghosts. Remember, or like a bunch of... gets dragged away by the creatures from Harry Potter, and then Peter just looks at the camera and goes, ghosts. Ghosts. Alright, we're doing a poll. What do you guys want the poll to be? Would you ride on that? Do you bounce on it? Peter, the horse is here. Yeah, Joe be screaming. Oh! Or that one time they're like, oh, Joe, where you been? He's like, oh, sorry, I was playing a lot of Overwatch. I don't know why the idea of Joe Swanson playing Overwatch. Do a poll where do you watch on your phone or your computer? Alright, good question. Do you listen on your phone or computer? Pooper. Phone. Computer. Start poll now. Do. No, I ended the poll. Ah! Fuck. I clicked it because I thought you could pin it. That's what I thought I had to do, but... Alright, redo. Okay. Do you listen on your phone or computer? Fucking hate technology. Don't listen at all. Just take your phone or your computer and burn it. phone, computer. Okay, this time we're not going to click anything. We're just going to start the poll. TV. All right, TV is a computer. No, this is real. That's fine. It gave me something to do on a Christmas Eve. Through a magic conch. Just put it up to your ear. It's just my voice yapping about Family Guy. And then Joe does this thing where he gets dragged away by ghosts. And like Peter's like breaks the fourth wall. It's so funny. Everybody's listening on their phone? Who up charging their phone? Alright. She just stood there, having not moved a muscle while the snow swirlies danced around her. I got my rig stopped maybe 100 yards down when it finally came to a halt. My heart was pounding so hard it felt like it was about to explode. I looked out into the side mirror, which I could now see out of thanks to all the snow having been shaken from. Make a new one? You want me to make a new poll? Are you guys already bored with this poll? Are you not entertained? Is that not why you are here, to fill out surveys? Who wants clam chowder? Who wants clam chowder? Gosh, even the polls piss people off. Pee-pee or poo-poo? What about, like, if we did a poll, Christmas, Chanukah, or Kwanzaa? Which one you celebrating? Pretty sure it was a reference to the movie Ghost. It was another Patrick Swayze reference, kind of like he would do kick people in the face and then say Roadhouse, which was good, but I mean, like, in the movie Ghost, is there the things from Harry Potter pulling people away? Is that what happened? Like, oh, it's just like a series of Grim Reapers? Oh, that happens in that movie? That seems like a bit much. Some scary Death Eaters? I looked out into my side mirror, which I could now see out of thanks to all the snow having been shaken from it, and there was, still standing there. And there she was. Son of a bitch! I'm thinking of the Dementors. That's the worst part about prison. Do you drink coffee or yerba? What's yerba? That sounds like goat cum. Everyone's favorite drink, yerba. Have a glass of yerba at the bottom of the Mount Everest. Christmas all day. Is Christmas supposed to last all day on the 25th? Does it, like, from time... Is anybody going to camp out for Christmas? Christ is King. Christ is King. Christ is King. You're like ringing a bell. Christ is King. Wagwan. I looked out into my side mirror, which I could now see out of thanks to all the snow having been shaken from it. And there she was, still standing there, looking like she was half frozen already. I set the brakes and turned on my four-ways so people could see my lights before they saw my truck, and then hopped out, fucking penis balls and shit. Mary, Joseph, and Christ. There's Joseph Christ, Mary Christ, Jesus Christ. If I would ever go camping on Christmas, I would like to spend it at home. That does sound much better. You're Hispanic and you stay awake all night? Does that mean that all Hispanics stay up all night? Are Hispanics nocturnal? Is that what we're learning today? Mexicans celebrate Christmas tomorrow. What the hell? They can do what? Mexico thinks they can just get their Christmas gifts early? Who the fuck do they think they are? All of us had to wait for... Santa's just like, what do you mean? This is just my route.
start on the 24th in Mexico City, and make my way up towards New Hampshire. That's how it's always been.
I set the brakes and turned on my four ways so that people could see my lights before they saw my truck, then hopped out into the powdered snow piled up on the shoulder. The window was cutting... The wind was cutting through my jacket as I sort of went back up the hill, back when the little girl came into view again, and I called out to ask if she was okay and where her mama was. But all she did was look at me with those big eyes, all quiet, and then when I saw how blue her lips were, I walked over and scooped her up. She was as light as a sack feather, and she didn't even fight. She just buried her face in my jacket as I hustled her back to my truck. I climbed in, pulled the door shut, and then, after sitting her on the passenger seat, I cranked the heat to a Mexican wedding, as they say, and then grabbed my old Carhartt coat and wrapped her up like a burrito. She didn't talk for maybe a good 10 minutes. She just sat there, all bundled up with her teeth chattering so hard that I thought that she might hurt herself. I poured a little bit of coffee from my flask into a cup, and she managed a few sips and then just curled up and stared at my dash lights like they were hypnotizing her. I eased us back on the road, very gentle-like and keeping it under 30, and then as the heaters were roaring, the colors started creeping back into her cheeks, but she still didn't talk until we were maybe 10 miles down the hill, and when she did, it was like crawlers creeping over my skin. Because all she said was, "He's gonna get me." I asked, "Who's gonna get you, sweetie? Who are you talking about?" But the cold must have had her head all scattered because all she said again was, "He's gonna get me. Please don't let him get me." I asked her again who was going to get her, and then after thinking for a minute, she told me she didn't know his name, just that he was going to get her. I told her she didn't have to worry, because there was no way anyone was going to get her out of my damn truck, but not without a damn good fight anyway. And that seemed to calm her down a little. And then when I told her I was going to get her back to her mommy, I saw her smile for the first time. And then maybe a minute later she said, "You better go quick. The man who's going to get me can run really fast." I told her not as fast as my truck, thinking it would reassure her, but she responded right away with, "Nuh-uh. He can run even faster than a truck." I told her I doubted that very much and that she didn't need to worry. That didn't seem to satisfy her, but she stayed quiet as she screwed up her face like she was thinking something that she didn't know how to put into words. And a few minutes later, after realizing that I hadn't asked her yet, I asked the girl if she knew where she lived. She said it was from some place near Denver, some kind of suburb, but I can't remember the name. I can't remember. Yo, Mom, Big Gay 466. Thank you for the 4 buccarinos. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Yo, Mom, Big Gay. Yo, Mom, Big Gay. And Scuba Steve with the 32 months. Happy Chris Mahana Kwanzaa. Joel Deep and friends. Glad I was able to catch a live for the first time in forever. Time to EPs. Take care all. Thank you. Valeth. Very much appreciate you. Sleep well, friend. We'll see you in Valhalla.
We'll take the watch.
Men can't run faster than trucks? You just wait and see. Big fire erupted at a business near my apartment and all the lights just went out. Oh, damn, that sucks. What the hell happened, you think? Do I know what champorado is? No, what's champorado? Anyone think that's like probably the weirdest thing Kash Patel could have said after Charlie Kirk just got shot in the neck? Does anyone think that whole fucking situation stinks to high heaven? Like what the fuck? Like what the fuck is going on? His wife is fucking weird. they paved over the fucking place where it was literally a crime scene. A dude got shot in the neck, and they literally paved over it. And then there was some big explosives factory or something that like exploded a month after, like completely obliterated, able to be felt like 60 miles around. There was all sorts of fucking weird shit. Like, what kind of fucking thing to say as Kash Patel? See you in Valhalla. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? But my one friend like swears that nothing weird happened. Nothing weird at all. Nothing to see here, guys. Move on. Yeah, Erica's creepy as shit, man, and I'm glad that more people are memeing on it, because sometimes the only way to like get the truth out there is with like a meme. Exactly what the meme is, I have no fucking clue. We do carry the flame, though, so that's... Her neck is 55. Maybe she's a reptilian, who knows? And then, like, people, you know, like, if your fucking husband just got shot in the neck under, like, weird, mysterious circumstances, and then people were trying to, like, look into it, or even, like, beg questions as to, like, what the truth actually is. Did you see her in that one interview where she was like, stop? She had like weird, terrifying, like serial killer, The Bride of Chucky eyes. And she's like, stop. Like insinuating like if you fucking look into it further, we will execute you live on air and shit. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Like if my significant other is dead, I don't mourn by going out and doing like WWE entrances to fucking promo shows. Like, I don't know, man. It's all so fucking fishy. I'd be untethered and a literal husk of a human being if that happened to me. Yeah, it's all very, very strange. It's a demonetization topic. Is it, though? Is it, though? That's a good question. It's a curiosity. Jorge, what's up, bro? How you been? But I mean, like, is that how we're gonna live our whole lives forever? It's like, oh, don't talk about something that's demonetizable. Whatever happened to the Constitution? I don't believe it's a ever-changing terms of services, is it? Not that I know of. I think the questions are fine. I just think that Candace Owens is really messing up real investigation based on ignorance and false implications. I haven't really followed much of what Candace is saying. She seems like she's going very... Well, I don't know. I haven't really followed, but all I've really caught is just like all the little clips where I'm just like, this is a strange curiosity. And the fact that like as soon as, you have curiosities about something, therefore prepondering upon oneself on whether or not it's like a legitimate narrative. And then for some reason, whenever you question if an official narrative is the official narrative, somehow you're a bad person for asking those questions. Like, that's fucking mental. Like, always ask questions. Ask questions to the end of the earth. Ask questions till they come and shoot you in the neck, you know what I mean? I read someone that they said that she was a plant and that they did it for her to then control his brand and use it for the government or whatever. Which makes sense. I mean, like, he was worth $100 million with Turning Point USA and all that kind of stuff, but I just don't understand. I don't remember Charlie Kirk being, like, that influential. Do you guys remember him being very influential? I swear to God, from like the 2016 era to now, I don't remember even like seeing Charlie Kirk pop up like anywhere. I mean, obviously maybe I just wasn't in the thick of it in that regard, but I always thought he was just like the most milquetoast boring dude ever. So it's like to see him have that level of influence, it just seemed very peculiar. You never heard of him until the day of that event. Yeah, I mean, I had heard of him, but he was always very boring to me. And just kind of like generic, saying like this, the typical stuff that you would expect. Like the neoconservative sort of like takes. Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I guess if he had an audience and whatever. Just on the good side of the internet. I mean, I don't know, man. Nothing, what is good? It's all subjective, I suppose. Who knows? Maybe he was about to turn into a Cthulhu monster and they saved us. They saved us from him. And now she's in charge, though. And she's just as scary, I think. The neocons hated him. Wonder why. Doesn't he always say... Well, what did the neocons not like about him? Was he questioning of, like, war and Israel or something like that? Before she said stop, she looked at you as though you were going to get asked with or without gang violence and get it in the neck. Yeah, I mean, she, like, looks at the camera. It's pretty creepy. Oh, that's right. Yeah, is she back with her ex-boyfriend now? I also saw something that Erica Kirk had, like, a kid with this ex-boyfriend as well. Is this true? You always thought he was another Shapiro. Yeah, she just another one of, like, the sort of controlled ops or whatever you want to say. He was trying to get the files released. Maybe. I'm just confused, though, because, like, something about the files to me just, like, stinks to high heaven, because why, if, like, Trump is in the files, right? Why did they arrest him under his watch, Jeffrey Einstein? Like, why did they arrest him in 2019 and then bring so much attention to the concept of Jeffrey Epstein if everybody was, like, implicated in the process? You know what I'm saying? And then why, if they were aware of these files and they were in the possession of, like, the opposing party's, team back in, like, when Biden was in office, why did they not talk about it then? Why wait till now? It's just, like, such a strange thing. And presumably they had known about this stuff forever. How the fuck? It's just weird. To me, I'm just like, is there a greater purpose to the discussion of these files right now? Is it, like, just it's a honeypot? But what's a honeypot? Like, what do you mean a honeypot? A honeypot is the catch people, but if you were to call it a limited hangout, I would understand the term limited hangout, because limited hangout implies that they want you to think that they're looking into it and that it's resolved and blah, 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 but there's actually much more to it than you think or something? Or does it serve... Oh yeah, I've read, One Nation Under Blackmail. Well, there's a ton of blackmail, obviously. Yes. It's like Diddy, he's not innocent, but he's taking the fall for a much more powerful group of people. Yes, but it seems like that, sure, that may have been the way for Epstein, but then it seems like it continues onwards right now, and I'm just, like, curious, is the whole point of it, like, being paraded around right now? It's like they're both, like, trying to be transparent about it, but also not trying to be transparent about it, and I'm just curious of, like, what kind of, like, disruption this operation is trying to cause by releasing it now, right? Like, what is it? Just, and especially if he's implicated in it, why did he even allow it to get to this point? It just, I don't know. It just all just seems like a level of madness that I can't wrap my head around. Like, why would you want to tell on yourself? You know what I mean? So many questions, so little answers. I think it's the power of social media. Normally we get our news from the TV. We would see what they want us to see, and now we get to see the truth on the internet, and they can't control us. That's the thing, is that you think that. But these intelligence agencies that control these, like, levels of blackmail and extortion or whatever, all of this is taken into consideration. Like, the algorithm in which you see is still relatively curated. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that there aren't, like, pieces of information that seep through. It seems like that the cascade of events that have led to the implication of Donald Trump in the Epstein files all began with him, right? Because it was under his administration that they arrested Epstein, and it was under his administration that it was under his party that they talked about transparency with it, and then it was under his administration that they now are, like, sort of releasing them in some ways. But I'm just, like, trying to wrap my head around, like, why would you push for this whenever you know you're going to get the brunt end of it? I don't know. It just seems really weird to me. Very counterintuitive. I don't know. If you have any theories, guys, I mean, it could, I mean, if you're thinking about, like, I don't know, if the United States is having, like, a sort of planned subversion of sorts, whatever it is, it would make some sense that you release this in a way that like everyone will now, like in a whole, will perceive the executive branch as like completely untrustworthy, and therefore all the subsequent systems below it is untrustworthy, which would, as a distraction. What's a distraction from? A planned picnic? I'm in. Perhaps. What better way to divert attention? But from what, though? I feel like every time something happens, they say it's a distraction from the Epstein files, and then the Epstein files, are happening, and people are like, it's a distraction from, something like a vibrator in my ass or something. It was under his administration they redacted all of his names from the files, right? But I mean, I don't know. There still seems to be like a lot of stuff that's like missed. I don't know. It's just all very, very weird. The CIA was running a counter-op alongside Jeffrey Epstein. What's a counter-op? Can you expand upon that? Albert Pike spoke of World War II. I feel like it's all leading to it. I mean, I guess that would make some sense. Because if, like, World War III was to take place within, like, what is modern-day Israel, it would kind of fall into the narrative of, like, making people really, really, really distrusting of the current systems, but also very, very distrusting of Israel itself because of these like operations, and also like openly kind of like just flaunting the whole genocide and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. I'm sure it's like levels of thought that we just like can't really wrap our heads around. Do I make Christmas cookies? I don't, but I eat them. It's pretty much the same thing. Just one less step. Propaganda, indoctrination, control the sheep. Faux show. I don't know. I mean, even if we all just like somehow rose above the two-party dichotomy, is it even possible to escape said actions, right? Because the narrative's already set, right? Where the two parties, like, at least in the, actual political sense, absolutely despise each other, won't debate, won't work with each other. The media has divided the people, all that kind of stuff. It's all set the groundwork, at least narratively, that even if you are relatively comfortable in your room and don't give a shit, the whole West Coast could, based on, some degree of like hierarchical power, make a decision to secede, right? And just create like the Western Union, right? You have California, Oregon, Washington, and maybe a part of Canada or something weird. And they would just be like, we're the Western Union and we're leaving, and then that begins like, oh, Trump's like, we got to send people in to fight. And then that begins the Civil War, right? No, you're joining Sonoma. You're Canadian. You're joining America. Sorry. What do you think about the suspenders for bikinis that you can water ski in them, and when you wipe out, you don't lose your bottoms or tops? That's a good question. A billionaire might be entitled pervert, and this is something shocking. That's a bunch of them might be that way. Shocking, not really. Well, it's not. But that's the question. Is like, who's the person procuring their perversions, right? And if they're procuring their perversion, the then question is like, who's their boss? Which we can already kind of assume as intelligence agencies is Mossad, is CIA, is MI6, all working together, the Five Eyes, all that kind of stuff. And then that, begs a million different questions of like, how did someone who is seemingly, a controlled party get into the presidency or whatever, and that kind of thing. And it just sort of extends from there with the million tendrils of the blob. And then you have to kind of wonder if any of the, and maybe that's the whole point. Maybe the whole point is to bring to the forefront that none of these systems that you've put your faith into have any power whatsoever, and that it's to erode, I guess, any sense of like hope or national identity or trust and power structures and all of that kind of stuff. And this is just sort of like like a preemptive conditioning of the mind to be comfortable whenever the system eventually implodes upon itself. You almost be cheering for it, you know what I mean? You adopt the accent. Yeah, you can have it. Oh no, we're going to like Civil War or something, man. It's gonna be crazy. She said she was from some place near Denver, some kind of suburb, but I can't remember the name. And then when I asked how she ended up in the snow, she explained that she escaped from the man who was keeping her. And it was like talking about him jogged her memory, because she immediately began telling me to drive faster, because if I didn't, the man who'd kept her was going to catch up to us. Now once again, I'm telling her, that's not gonna happen, kiddo. Ain't nobody driving this thing off the road. But she shook her head.
Gee golly gosh, it's Jeffrey Einstein.
Global history needs to be taught to understand. Yeah, I'm sure it goes back very deep. I mean, some people think like those connections, those like only go really back to the Napoleonic Wars, but I imagine it's, I don't know. It does suck sometimes just kind of being like an ignoramus to most things. Making ramen because you're hungry. Sometimes it's just fun to make ramen because you're bored. It's all boring. The thing is, like, what if your brain could just be filled with all of the knowledge of the world, and any question could be instantly answered? I don't know if you would find it boring. You'd probably find it terrifying. Are we still talking sheep? I wonder who are the wolves. Playing sheep's disguise as masterminds might make a good book, or a scary one, perhaps. I agree. You should write it up. Did you guys learn about Rwanda in school and like European history? Hotel Rwanda? Did you guys ever learn about the Great Leap Forward? But she shook her head and told me, he doesn't need to drive faster. He can fly. And at first, hearing her say that just kind of made me sad. Some sick monster had obviously tried to scare her into obedience by telling her all sorts of crap about him being able to run really fast or even fly. But then, as I wondered what kind of freak would do something like that, just picturing some creep running as fast as my truck or flying through the night sky before landing on my cab, it just about creeped the hell out of me. And I'd be lying if I said that it didn't make me want to drive a little faster, even though I knew damn well that what she was saying was impossible. Now, it didn't help that I asked her if she would tell me anything about the man who'd taken her. And we'd already established that she'd been taken from the parking lot of a grocery store because she mentioned something about shopping with Mommy, and then the next thing that the man was holding her hand and telling her that they were going to find her mom. Obviously, that was a lie because she hadn't seen her mom since. But when I asked her for some specifics about him, what he looked like or what kind of house he lived in, all she said was that he lived out in the woods and he looked, in her words, real scary. Now, I know it might sound dumb because this was a kid saying it in some scared little girl voice, but when she said he looked real scary, it sent an actual shudder through me. Now, I guess it tapped into my own long-lost sense of childlike imagination, and I guess I figured that it... Learned about advertising and messaging in high school, how ads for men and ads for women are different, and like how Axe is the same company as Dove, and how the ads are so incompatible. Lol. That's crazy. I rent and the owner sold the place. Today was all about the building inspector, the new owners, and property management going through every inch of home. Stressful. What are we talking about? Wart. I guess it tapped into my own long-lost sense of childlike imagination, and I guess it figured that some freak who'd abduct a kid would be real scary looking, but just the thought alone scared me. I then asked the girl if she could tell me anything about where she was kept, and when she said no, that it was always dark and she could never see anything, I just figured I better stop asking. I was taking her to the cops, who'd no doubt ask her a ton of their own questions, and I doubted it was helping any if by... God damn it, why am I... And I doubted I was helping any by making her... Do you get manicures or any of the type to get dirt or grease caked in your hands? What? Do you get manicures or are you the type to get... Oh, I've gotten the pedicures before, like on the feet, which is pretty sick. It's like it turns your legs from an ashen mess to like the shiniest shit you've ever seen in your life. You want to like show off your legs like SpongeBob, you know? But I've never done the manicure with the nails or anything. Pretty little girl. My one friend does, because I remember we were at dinner and I looked at his nails and I was like, what the fuck? Dude, what's going on with your nails? And he's like, oh, I get them manicured. And they almost like look too good. You know what I mean? When you see like a guy's hands and they're like, it's literally manicured and there's just like something deep within you that have a certain level of distrust. Storm Spotter with the $5 buckarino says, hey Joel, it kinda got buried under the Epstein talk, but YouTuber Sydney Watson shouted you out and blamed her Wendigo dreams on me. Oh. Sydney Watson has 1 point. Oh. That's cool. Wow. She gets like crazy views. 450k, 300k. Thanks, Sydney. What's her channel about? It's like a cultural thing. Very important doctor, Australia-American political commentator. Oh, nice. Hell yeah, dude. We made it. We made it, baby. We're in the drama mix. That's all we need. We need to get into the drama mix, and then we become relevant. Where did she mention me? Did she mention it in like a video or just on a live stream or something? People who look too perfect are hiding something. They're hiding their perfect naked body from everybody. And they need to show us so we can figure it out. What's going on? Hi everyone, and Joel. Breaking up with my narcissistic manipulator is the mental fortitude any woman have against a Piscarian. Or wait, are you asking? But thank you for the 5 against Storm Spotter. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Okay. I was taking her to the cops. It's in her most recent Asmund Gold video about 45 minutes in. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm in a video with Asmund. Asmund Goldington. I love gold. I was taking her to the cops, who'd no doubt ask her a ton of their own questions, and I doubted I was helping any by making her talk about it. But I also had this terrible fear that for some reason she might not survive till we got to the cops. My sister is a nurse, and the thing she told me about kids that really stresses her out is how they hang on, and hang on, and hang on, then bang, they just slip away on you real fast. The girl was talking, and she looked way better than she did out on the highway, but there was a part of me that thought, what if she doesn't make it? And not just because... I like my men with calluses and a utilitarian-style trim nails. Yeah, someone who eats their fingers off. Joel is taller than me, so he beats me up, as is nature's law. That is true. Like, if you're like an inch taller than someone, you immediately have the right to hurt them. Just pay for a 3-hour manicure at a Vietnam beauty shop and they turn you into a girl perfectly. Holy shit. That does sound kind of nice. They're gonna make me glossy. Glossy for all to see. The girl was talking, and she looked way better than she did out on the highway, but there was a part of me that thought, what if she doesn't make it? And not just because of the hypothermia that she might have suffered, but because the person chasing her might still have caught up with us at that point. And I knew well enough no man could fly, and that no one could run as fast as a truck either, but he could most likely drive, and if he wanted to keep his ass out of prison, he'd be on the road behind us looking for that girl. And that was my thought process at the time anyways, and as you can imagine, I was creeped the hell out on top of everything the girl had said. But no one caught up with us. The girl made it to the county sheriff's office in a place called Vale, and that, boys and girls, is where we parted ways. Now I still think about that little girl sometimes, though. She'll be a woman by now, maybe even with kids of her own, and while I have no doubt that she remembers the trucker who pulled her out of that snow and stopped her freezing to death, I hope to God that I get to meet her again one day, so I can find out why she was out there in the first place. Now, I didn't read anything in the local newspaper about it. No reporters came knocking on my door to take a statement, and no cops either, so I don't know if they ever caught that scary-looking guy. I'm just hoping that that little girl is reunited with her mama, and that she grew up to be happy, in spite of whatever she'd endured. Yeah, she goes on to rob banks. She becomes a bank robber. How tall am I? I'm 5'10". Your last ex was 6'2". Everyone thinks that they want a tall guy until you have to shower and get a face full of water. Shower and get a face full of water? Oh, being tall. I thought it was like, are you pissing on somebody? What's going on? Should we listen to the... Alright, we're listening to it. Let's listen. Let's hear Joel being mentioned.
I mean, realistically, when are these people not mad? Hi,
I feel like that is not the intro music you want to use. Not to criticize.
Welcome back to hell. Merry Christmas to all of you, firstly. And
Oh, she's
I
Canadian.
hope you go into,
I already heard
this
the O.
Christmas period, these Christmas days, making good choices and good decisions. Okay, Simon, make some good choices. I really don't
let's see.
recommend picking fights
I just
with
want to
your
hear my
relatives
name.
over, like,
Say my
politics, but, you know,
name.
instead you can choose to be joyful and harmonious, and if you decide not to be, I will come to your house and haunt you like a Christmas goblin.
Oh, wait, we're getting there.
To the rest of you who don't celebrate Christmas, a happy
Oh, she's
end of
Australian.
December to you
Oh, there it is. I'm an
this
idiot.
week. I hope it's great.
December.
As for me, I will be over here channeling Morticia Adams because this is how I have chosen to look today. There's nothing you can do about it. Also,
How did I not hear the accent
my
right out the
Christmas
gate?
extra
That's
special.
hilarious.
Go and check out my tea company, which is linked in the description box.
Tea?
If you haven't
What?
already, I have
She's a
many
competitive
flavors.
tea-
And,
Dude, we
just
haven't made
an
our
FYI,
tea yet.
The winter flavors that I have that you
Winter
guys
flavors?
seem to really enjoy, they are getting quite low, and these are seasonal, so they are only around
Her
for a
dictation
limited
is too
time,
perfect.
And won't be back until next year. So I'm very low on my peppermint white chocolate. So
That's a
if
good
you
point.
like that
Yeah.
one,
Like
be
really
sure to
good
grab the box.
dictation
Now,
might
it
not
has
be
escaped
a very
my
Australian
attention that
thing.
Apparently, everybody is burned out on political talking at the moment.
No, I wanna
and
hear it
for
until
some
I'm
reason,
dead.
That means that you
I wanna
all
hear about
want to be
politics till I'm
entertained
fucking
with
dead
people
forever.
And their drama. And so today's video is
My favorite is whenever people have political opinions and then they ended up getting into drama just with people with different political opinions, and then that becomes a sub-quest, like a subtopic in and of itself forever. That's the coolest thing when you take a overarching thing and
There's no exception.
make it all about you.
I'm just trying to give you what you want, Simon. Okay, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. As most of you know,
Does anybody have the
because it's
timestamp?
been basically everywhere in the news, the topic of immigration is very hot.
She got to
hot
water
right
down
now.
Aussie X's.
Boiling hot, so hot it'll melt your
4:45.
face.
Let's
And
go,
so,
baby.
As a result of this, late streams, isn't it? That's what this is, isn't it? Full disclosure, as some of you know, I don't really watch live streams. I don't. I have a really hard time paying
What?
attention for that long.
Not
but
mine.
I do watch, like the Lore Lodge and Darkness Prevails, and I've been listening to a lot of Let's Read recently, which is probably why I'm
God.
having weird dreams about Wendigos. So
You're welcome.
obviously I haven't seen everything that he's had to say ever, but I do see a lot of his clips on Twitter a lot of the time from people, clipping them and sharing them. And once again, I think that a lot of his delivery just kind of comes without any preamble, no caveats, just straight to what he thinks. And I think it's funny because
Who's
a
that?
lot of what comes
Not me,
across
right?
my feed is stuff that I do inherently at its core agree with, but once again, I
I
do
wish all
see
the
why
women in
this
this chat
delivery rubs
to never
me
meet
the
a
wrong way. And not
horrid,
that I wanna get into this
narcissistic
because
manipulator,
it's so
especially if their
obviously
mama's
not the
born
point
a
of this video,
Pisces.
but I do think that this
Oh,
kind of
Asman.
delivery
Oh, that's right, Asman. What the hell? If it's not talking about me, what does it matter? No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Sydney. Appreciate you. I got 0 subscribers from that. All right, whatever. Honestly, I look at those people that have to, they kind of make their living within the realm of cultural discussion. I look at people like Asman. They have to get up on stream and give perspectives day in and day out and day in and day out, and then operate within the realm of Twitter and give people retorts and respond to things. And I'm like, it just all looks so fucking exhausting, so painfully exhausting to have to hear the opinions of people that, their brains are melting out of their ears. Not her, but you know what I mean? Just anybody that would be in your opposition, which is natural, to occur within that realm. But God, that looks like a painful way to make money. But thank you again, Sydney. Imagine dating that. Oh yeah, imagine dating. Well, I mean, if you shared similar political perspectives, then you could probably get along pretty easy or whatever. Or if you actually were capable of having a debate without someone bursting into tears. Happy early Christmas. Thank you, Leah. All right. I think this is the last story. Yeah, that's the last story. Bing bong bong. It's okay, I can cry. I can do my best. I used to work at this trucking company out in California. Not 18-wheelers though, just regular 4-wheelers that had cold storage in the back. I worked there for 4 years, never once took a day off for any reason, and that was partly down to liking my coworkers. You're a centrist. Who cares? Honestly, guys, you don't need to give yourselves... You don't need to give yourselves any title when it comes to, politics. You just don't need to. I mean, when's the last time any of your existence, anything you've voted for, anything you've, discussed, has ever really manifested to anything other than just, a pointless conversation related to it? A conversation that resulted in a really weird, irking argument deep within your soul, or one where you thought to yourself, oh, I can trust this person. And so it's honestly probably best not to even prescribe a name or a title to what you are in your internal thoughts, because there's always going to be as many variations to your thoughts as your fucking fingerprints, right? So it's just who gives a shit? Merry Christmas, lovely. Good to see you. Titles are demonetized. Titles are canceled. Yeah, and politics just divides us and whatever. I've said it a million trillion times anyways, but you gotta make your Wendigo stories stronger to get them eventually. They do have their own mind in the dreamscape, I think. You're a chimpanzee. Alright, you can be a chimpanzee if you want to be. A humanzee. Height doesn't matter. What if I was just like Stuart Little and I pulled up to pick you up in a little red convertible Matchbox car? I worked there for 4 years, never once took a day off for any reason, and that was partly down to liking my own coworkers so much. Now, for the most part, the other drivers were a great bunch of guys. Management was another thing entirely, but all the guys down on my level were great workers, and I'm proud to still be able to call some of them friends. But then, about 5 or 6 months before I quit in protest, they hired a guy named Jerry. Jerry seemed like an okay guy at first. A little quiet, maybe, but he delivered on time and he didn't have any problems with anybody. But then came what I now consider my first clue to there being something off about Jerry, and that's when Tony tried showing him a picture of his niece. Now, she just started elementary school, and Tony's getting kind of teary-eyed, thinking, look how fast they grow up, and pacing around, shit. Attack helicopters in the chat, rise up. That one Stuart Little meme where he's in the orphanage with the other kids and they pick the rat. Yeah. Wait. Oh wait, yeah. Didn't the rat have like a funny name? Wasn't he like a meme for a while or something of that nature? I like to initiate division. Yeah, same. My favorite thing is to like usurp a population, make them hate each other, and then whenever they're all fighting, I come in and restructure things to my benefit. What's up, y'all? It's me, Rumple's Foreskin. She just started elementary school, and Tony's getting all teary-eyed, saying, look how fast they grow up, and passing around his phone to people to show them pictures of her. But when he tries showing Jerry just gives him this icy cold, no thank you, and then just carries on with his business. Now, Tony was really offended, actually, and he was joking when he said, it's that asshole's problem. But the more I thought about it, the more it bothered me. Even the guys who clearly didn't give a crap about Tony's niece at least took a look and said something like, she's cute, I'm happy for you. But there was Jerry there acting all awkward, like we were trying to show him a boob or a booby mag. A booby mag. Stupid Jerry. Tom. Wait. Oh, Tony. At first I was like, wait, the other guy's name is Tom? And this is Jerry? Holy fuck, I would have been losing my mind. But there was... Alright, I have my mic way too high. I've been jumping on my fucking tippy toes. My tipsy toes. But there was Jerry acting all awkward like we were trying to show him a booby magazine or something. And like I said, I guess that was my first real clue right there. Everyone else figured that was just him. Quiet, verging on antisocial Jerry. And after a couple of months, it just drifted into the background and slipped from my mind. It only came back a few months later when I was driving back to the depot that I spotted one of our trucks parked near an elementary school, just not in the parking lot. I slowed a little, hoping to spot one of my coworkers so I could honk my horn at them, but when I did, I didn't honk. It was Jerry. And that's when I realized why his truck wasn't in the parking lot. He wasn't making a delivery. He was just standing there, watching the kids play in the yard. Now I'm thinking, what is he doing? But I didn't stop, not that first time. I figured he probably had a kid at that school, or that maybe he just delivered there and was taking a smoke break or something. But like I said, the truck wasn't in the school's lot, and I didn't remember Jerry ever smoking back at the depot. Now, this was weird, but I wasn't Jerry's boss. And I'm also not so much of an a-hole that I'd try and act like Jerry's boss. And if he wanted to goof off or do some family stuff on company time, that was his problem, not mine, and I didn't mention it to him either. But then, not even a week later, I spotted him doing the exact same thing on my day off. I was driving by the exact same school when I spotted one of our trucks in the exact same place that had been the previous week. It was like deja vu. The school, the truck, and then Jerry, right there in the same spot. That time, I had a sort of double moment of what the F, because what was he doing there a second time? But then as I slowed and watched him in my side mirror, I could have sworn that he was holding his phone up against his chest, in a way a person might do if they were secretly recording. Now, I guess I am kind of an a-hole to risk ruining a working relationship over a suspicion as weird as that. And if it turned out he was holding his phone, then whatever, I'm the a-hole. But if he was out there recording those kids, that was something that I wasn't going to tolerate. Now, I'll admit to feeling kind of crazy as I walked up to him, because after parking my car and getting out, I didn't so much as walk up as sneak up. But then there he was, holding his phone maybe 6 inches from his chest, and it was a screen. He was playing Flappy Bird. Lynn, welcome back for 40 months. I think I'm going to start heading to bed. I'm really happy I finally got to stay for a whole stream. Joel, Pradeep, and everyone else, have a great holiday. Thank you, Lynn. Merry Christmas to you. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Appreciate you. Going to bed trying to fall asleep for the major storm hits tonight. 60 mile per hour wind, major rain, calling for power outages until Friday. Damn. I'd like to sleep through most of it. Where the fuck is that at? Jesus Christ. What's the weather here? Where is that? Are you in like the Bermuda Triangle? What the flip? Okay, this is the weather. What the frick? Daily? Close? Why does the weather page suck balls, bro? Oh wait, okay, here we go. It is currently Wednesday. It is going to be okay. And then Christmas is going to be cloudy. And then Friday it will snow. Winter storm watch. Oh no! Okay, so it's supposed to storm this weekend. I'm gonna spend Christmas at home and munch on pozole and tamales and maybe sip up a few. Let's go. That's what I like to hear. Oh, it's storming in LA. What the fuck are they doing to LA, bro? With their weather control machines. Their lasers. Do you prefer shorter or taller than average girls? I don't know. I feel like I would be more inclined to date someone that's shorter than myself. But honestly, I don't really care. Sometimes I feel like girls that are like taller are actually like way sweeter, if that makes sense. Like they're just nicer because, you know, I don't know. There's like a certain level of like insecurity from being really tall in a weird way for a girl, which I don't think should be the case. But I don't know. They tend to be like way nicer, I think. Or like maybe like more approachable. Mainly because they know they can just like pick you up and squish you into a ball, put you in their mouth like dip. But then there he was, holding his phone maybe 6 inches from his chest, and its screen was all lit up with what was clearly a recording of the schoolyard in front of him. And I said, "Jerry, what the hell are you doing, man?" And obviously, because he hadn't seen me, he just about jumped out of his skin before locking his phone and sliding it into his pocket. Now, he told me in that very quiet, weird voice of his, "Just taking a break, man." But I knew what I saw, and when I demanded that he show me his iPhone gallery there to prove that he hadn't been doing what I thought he was doing, he refused. Now, I was causing such a ruckus that some of the kids and one of the teachers started to pay attention to me yelling, and when Jerry realized that we had an audience now, he hopped back into his truck and just drove off with me still yelling at him. Now I remember calling a couple of the guys, oh my god, I can't wait to have some coffee tomorrow. Dude, if you guys never do it, try like I said this before, but try like fasting a day as long as you're, don't have any like diabetic issues or whatever, or any, lightheadedness. But dude, the idea of like thinking about food the next day is like the best feeling. It like makes it like it's like taking like if you're one of those people who smokes weed, you know how you do like a tolerance break? It's like fasting it's like a food tolerance break in like a weird way. It makes you like way excited for the same shit. And you do feel really good. You feel like lighter. You feel like healed a little bit. You don't feel like a glob of shit. You're getting leg lengthening surgery so you can join the NBA. But I'm doing the fasting leading up to Christmas just because, I don't know, you eat so much shit after Christmas that you either gain weight or just feel like crap. So I'm like, fuck it, dude, I'm gonna make this food count. Hey, Iris, sleep tight. Appreciate you. Thank you. That is the worst. I used to get in trouble at school all the time because I was talk and dress always looked short and skirts too short. You get in trouble all the time.
God damn it, mister, you're supposed to wear clothes. What the fuck?
Is this my secret to being spry? Yeah, I'm like a fucking spring. Boing. Is everyone here really tall? I think we're all, I think the average height here is at least 7'2". We're all part of the Sasquatchian family. The hardest part for short people sometimes is jumping between the keys to type something out. Joel Wembanyama. Did I see highlights of that NBA player, and he doesn't even have to jump. He literally just like sort of extends his like hips a little bit. Hey, this guy with the 2 says, Merry Christmas, cool cat, and always stay cool. Thank you. This guy, good to see you, bro. Appreciate you. Merry Christmas. I remember calling a couple of the guys that night who told me that I should do the right thing and tell our supervisor what I saw. And so I called him and gave him the full story too. Everyone was being very understanding and saying stuff like, what the hell? That's messed up. He's doing that on the job? Dude, get him fired. And the same was true with my supervisor, who said that he'd bring it up with management and work that slacking off on the job angle so they could actually fire the guy. And my supervisor did have supervisor. Can someone go check for me if you get bored? Video game Donkey, I saw that he was doing like a Donkey, I don't think it was a Donkey Game Awards, but like he was doing he has like that game publishing company of his, Big Mode, and I was just curious if any of the games that are in, he did like a Big Mode E3, I think, and I was curious if there was any good games. You can make enchiladas. Honestly, it's all that matters in life, truly. It's the only thing I care about. Big money mode. My supervisor did have kind of a warning for me though. Like it wasn't all smooth sailing. Because when he asked if I'd taken any pictures of Jerry and I said no, he said, dude, really would have helped if you did, but now it's just your word against his. Now I figured that might be an issue, but like I said earlier, I put more than 3.5 years into that company, and I busted my butt every single day I was on the job, too. I figured that might count for something, but it didn't. And it didn't count for a goddamn thing. I had 3 days off and I spotted Jerry on the second one, so it wasn't until a day after that I was back at work again. Now, I figured I might even stroll in to see no sign of Jerry, with his locker having been emptied. But Jerry was still there, and I barely even clocked in before my supervisor said management wanted to talk to me. Now, I knew it must have been about Jerry. There was just nothing else that I was expecting it to be about, and I was right. But what I figured would be little more than a recap of my story turned about to be anything but. This weather is not normal. I live in the Sacramento Valley in North Carolina and haven't seen the sun in months for the month-long tool fog, now the 2 weeks of rain and huge wind. Yeah, that's fucking weird, man. What is going on? What do you guys think's going on? Are they trying to, destroy everybody? They predicted tornadoes in LA during the storm. Jesus Christ. That's scary. Scurry. That's terrifying. It actually is terrifying, honestly. No one would be even remotely prepared for that. What are Nephilims? Babes, you never heard of Nephilims? In Genesis 6:4 in the Bible, the sons of God left their natural place and mated with the daughters of men, bequeathing giants upon the land. Long before Noah and the flood, these giants ruled over mankind and did terrible, terrible things to us. Sometimes they would use us like dildos and our bones as toothpicks. Fee-fi-fo-fum shit. Is this real? This is as real as it gets. Yeah, that would be my Christmas sermon, to talk about the Nephilim. Did you get blocked? I don't think so. You're talking. You here? We out here, baby. Don't you worry. Yeah, human women were like, I like me a tall man. And then they just rip her in half. Oh! I knew it must have been about Jerry. There was nothing else that I was expecting it to be about, and I was right. But what I figured would be little more than a recap of my story turned out. Damn, I have really struggled tonight. I think I've made at least 102 mistakes. But what I figured would be little more than a recap of my story turned out to be anything but. I was in there for like half an hour and a lot of crop. What the fuck, Joel? Joel H. Christ. Joel H. Christ, the tamale eater. Do you still leave out cookies and milk for Santa? I'm contractually obligated to leave out subscriptions to BetterHelp for him. I think I could fall in love with a midget. You know, let's start with a date. Let's start with a date back at my motel room, and then we'll figure it out from there. I was in there for like half an hour, and a lot of crap got said, but the gist of it was this. It wasn't Jerry that was in the wrong for taking pictures of kids. It was me, because I was harassing him. Okay, so management didn't exactly say that he wasn't in the wrong taking those pictures. They just didn't see it the way that... Should you get a CDL? If you want to drive trucks around and, deliver stuff. One step for Joel, one giant leap for Hezbollah. man.
Are you Indian?
I don't know, in all capitals. Like you're finding out that someone's like a werewolf.
Are you Indian? What?
You're not speaking.
Someone grab this man.
Monka S?
I will die by snoo.
The Indian DMs be like,
I by die by snoo.
give him a CDL immediately. Hand that over. Okay, so management didn't exactly say that he wasn't in the wrong taking those pictures. They just didn't see it that way at all. Based on what they'd been told by Jerry, he had an interest in photography, and when I decided to violently accost him, he was standing nowhere near the elementary school in question, and neither was he facing it. Jerry claimed that I'd taken a dislike for him ever since he started, and what I was doing was nothing but an attempt to get him fired and force him out. I told management that was a lie and that me and all the other guys have been nothing but alright with him, and I also offered to get pictures of him doing his thing, just like my supervisor suggested I do, but they told me if I did, I'd be fired. Now, I say the meeting was with management, and it was more like between me and the HR guy that had been hired around the same time Jerry was. He was the one laying down the law and saying that I'd be fired if I carried on harassing Jerry, and he did it all while looking and talking at me like I was some brainless idiot. Now, I told him just because he had a college degree didn't mean that he could talk to me like that, at which point the big boss stepped in and told me to calm down. He was a good guy, so I did like he asked. But that didn't mean that I was going to take it. And since I was Jerry! Do you think this is a Jerry Seinfeld story? He's meeting his girlfriend at the elementary school.
Jerry, what are you doing here? Jerry.
What? I'm just taking some videos. I like photography. Big whoop. Joel, I do night audit at a hotel. I'm currently here alone and listening to you and definitely making the boring downtime go by faster, so thank you. You're welcome. You will soon have a very mysterious guest walk in. Joey, what books is the goat reading? Bah. I don't read anything, honestly.
Jerry, you can't be here.
She's nice. She can climb across the monkey bars, no problem.
Jerry!
Since I was being treated like a nobody and management was sticking by HR and siding with that pervert Jerry, I quit that same day. I gave my 2 weeks and I wasn't about to leave anyone in there, but I didn't want to have to work a single second more than I needed to at a company that had hired that goddamn chomo. And no one liked what was happening, but this HR guy was from corporate, and they could hire and fire just about anyone they wanted to, and often did. And that meant no one wanted to stick their head above the... Hey Beth, what's up, dude? Where you been? Woo! Ow! Have you seen the scariest video from Mr. Spooky Ghost? He's so fucking spooky. He makes me want to scream. Have you ever gotten so scared? Sometimes you get horny. That meant that no one wanted to stick their head out above the clouds, so to speak. Now, I might have quit, but I kept in touch with the guys, and I've stayed friends with a few of them even all these years later. And that's why, maybe even 7 or 8 months later, I was one of the first people to hear when Jerry got arrested at work. He was a part of some FBI sting involving online child predators, as in like he thought he was talking to a 13-year-old girl when really it was some FBI agent in his 30s. And well, when I found that out, I drove straight over to that old job and almost got myself arrested when I demanded to talk to the HR guy that almost fired me for pointing out who Jerry really was. I know that was a jerk move, and I ended up apologizing to my old boss on the phone later that evening. Boy, was I fuming. And I'm glad the HR guy wasn't there that day, but I didn't catch him going to his car or whatever. Oh, whoops. Joel, do you lick your salt lick? Yeah, I have mine up on a tree outside. And I also have one beside my bed on the stand. Have you ever... Do I wrap my gifts? This year, I did wrap quite a few gifts, but I also got a shit ton of gift bags. Dude, and I'm telling you, there's nothing that will change your life more for Christmas than fucking gift bags. If they're big enough, you can just like take the shit you got, put them in there, staple them together, send them off to fucking Santa Claus. What the hell? And it's so nice because they don't have to rip up a bunch of paper, and they can reuse the bags, right? They can take them to the grocery store, gather berries or whatever. I just get gift bags instead. I'm going to wrap all my gifts and clean up. Yeah, exactly. All that paper is destroying California as we speak. But boy, was I mad. And I'm actually glad that the HR guy wasn't there that day and that I didn't catch him going to his car, because I really would have ended up in jail for beating his ass. Now, the guy never showed up for work again either. My old buddy said that he quit the same day the cops showed up at work to arrest Jerry, and even though he left stuff on his desk and he didn't pick up his phone whenever they tried to call. I guess he figured that they were as mad as I was, and in one case they were. But all management wanted to do was return his stuff and do a brief exit interview over the phone, but still he didn't pick up. If there's two things that the whole thing taught me, it's this. Always trust your gut, and HR people are a pain in the goddamn neck. A simple bag is much better than a crappy gift wrapping. Yeah, or even just like the bag that you bought the item from the store. Ciao, Bella. Bro, we gotta get off Twitter. We have absolutely got to get off political Twitter. Did you just gift me a piece of trash? Okay, guys, you guys ready for something cool? Are you guys ready for something so cool? You guys ready for this? I hope you guys are ready. This is the last Let's Read. This is the last one. No, I'm just kidding. Boom. 50 gifted memberships to all of you beautiful people. I love you more than Santa Claus when he died on the cross. For all of our sins, all of us on the Epstein list. From everyone here on the Epstein list, we wish you and yours a happy Hanukkah. Oh shit. But anyways, you guys all now have access to bonus content. And I'm gonna read the outro. The outro script. Alright, guys. Think of something funny for me to say at the end here, okay? Okay? Is that too much to ask from you? Finally gave the guy I'm interested in my number. He texted me that night, told him I was interested. He stopped texting, awkward being he lives 3 blocks from me. Oh. Well, I respect that move, though. Gave the guy I'm interested in my number. Okay, good, amazing start. He texted me that night, told him I was interested. He stopped texting. Awkward being he lives 3 blocks away. Well, you know what? You shot your shot, and there's like 10,000 other people to make babies with, so it's fine. And yeah, it's just, but I dude, being a chick who like goes out of the way to like ask a guy out, infinite respect in my mind. That shit like never happens. It's like finding a diamond in a pile of not diamonds in a ball pit. A ball pit made of needles, kind of. Do you get a membership? I'm sorry. You should have. Well, I don't know. It's so random. Hey friends, thanks for listening. Click that notification bell. Fuck, I already fucked it up. I fucking suck at YouTube. Hey friends, thanks for listening. Click that notification bell to be alerted of all future narrations. I release new videos every Monday and Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and there are super fun live streams on Sundays and Wednesday nights. If you got a story to be... What the fuck? I have like actual dyslexia right now, forever. Okay. If you got a story, be sure to submit them over at my email, letsreadsubmissions@gmail.com, and you might even hear your story featured on the next... Something's going on, man. Something's in the... I'm getting that Yule fog. If you got a story, be sure to submit them over at my email, letsreadsubmissions@gmail.com, and you might even hear your story featured in the next video. And if you want to support me even more, grab early access to all future narrations and... Oh my god. Get on that creatine. Dude, I took 10 grams of creatine today, and I fasted. And I still have the brain... The Yule fog. The Jewel fog. Maybe I need to take 20 grams. I got the jits. And if you want to support me even more, grab early access to all future narrations and bonus content over on Patreon, or click that big join button to hear about the extra perks for members of the channel. And check out the Let's Read podcast, where you can hear all of these stories in big compilations located anywhere you listen to podcasts. I also have a true crime channel called Saturn Soul. Check it out, all links in the description below. Thanks so much, friends. And remember, I took 2 grams. Krampus is going to suck my brains out through my butthole. Have you tried turning it off and back on again? I need to go box Jake Paul so he can knock my ass out and say he's the coolest guy. Dude, how the fuck did Jake Paul make $92 million from that bout? 92? No one even watched it. Literally no one even watched the Jake Paul fight, and he made $92 million. Like, it's all got to be like a money laundering scheme or some shit, bro. It's fucking weird. Don't trust Jerry. Oh yeah, Merry Christmas. Thanks so much, friends. And remember, Merry Christmas. I didn't get a membership either. Maybe next time. Perhaps. Perhaps. Welcome back, Ricky. Alright guys, is there anything else you want to talk about before I ship off here? This video is going to go up on Patreon first. It's only $1 a month over there. Which is sick. You can get early access. Hey Sam, Merry Chrysler. Merry Christmas everyone. But if you want to get early access, you can do that. Otherwise, it's going to be up on YouTube on Thursday. I know you would think it'd be tomorrow, but we're streaming a day early, so it's going to be on Thursday at 9 p.m. EST. Otherwise, follow my Instagram at letsread.official, and you can be kept up to date when I go live on my story over there. And guys, I hope you have an amazing holiday. Stay safe. Don't drink and drive, all that shit. Don't even drive if the weather fucking sucks. Just stay in and eat your Cocoa Puffs and have a good time with Santa Claus. Yeah, just do Uber during a snowstorm. No big deal. But yeah. Love you guys, appreciate you. Thanks for being great. This feels like a pretty core memory holiday for me this year. 2025 Christmas, we all remember that one, because it was the last Christmas. The last Christmas before the war on Christmas ended it all. Love you guys, appreciate you. Stay well. Don't ginger your own bread. And I will be back streaming probably Sunday, so I will pray for you. Keep me on your list of people that you talk to Jesus about. All right. Goodbye.